Good morning, sunshine.
What's good, peoples? In here watching the last seconds of Denver, New Orleans. Denver definitely beat them pretty handedly. Wasn't much of a game, but hope everybody's doing all right. I hope everybody is prepared for this weekend, tournament weekend. A lot of tournaments going on. I know we got Ty's tournament. I'm sorry, Battle of the Sexes Saturday, Douglasville tomorrow, followed by the mixed doubles. Um, and then we have a dedication tournament. Todd's dedication tournament is next. It's this Sunday. Excuse me. So, um, got a lot to talk about tonight. Um, some interesting stuff is going on. Um, there has been a lot of ball releases. Um, I want to talk about that for a second, because like I said in the previous show, Brunswick did drop a lot. Trying to pull it up for y'all right now so y'all can see. But I'm definitely looking at that that 3.0. Wasn't a shock. I remember telling somebody I thought they were going to be dropping one last year, a 3.0 or a different 2.0. But it's definitely going to be interesting to see these new bowling balls that comes out. But let's be real. With a lot of these new bowling balls that are coming out, I think it's all preference, all on who you like, all on I love the um, Black Widow line. The Black Widow line is one of my favorite lines of bowling. I love it. I love the motion it gives me. Like I said before, the Ghost is one of my favorites. I love the Ghost. That Ghost line. I mean, I'm sorry, that Black Widow Ghost line is incredible. I do have the Ghost and I do have the hybrid in my bag. The hybrid. Excuse me. I haven't thrown my hybrid like I wanted to lately. I was surfacing it, and I think I messed something up on the surface, far as a step or two, because right now it is definitely hooking a lot. It's hooking a lot, and it's not something I really like my balls to do. But it's definitely getting something used to it. As you can hear my daughter in the background. But here we go. Yeah, she is having a ball. All right, let's look at this 3.0. All right, here we go. All right, so it does say this is for the upper mid level. It does have its gas mask core, which I love, a big core in a bowling ball. Um, I think the HK22 is something that does scare me. I have a couple of balls with the HK22 on it, which is the cover stock. HK22, I feel like that's one of those cover stocks that excuse me, that's one of those cover stocks. If you are in trouble, balls not hooking, that is a great cheat code, is to pull out a HK22, because that cover stock is strong enough for me to get through anything. I bowl a challenge shot on Tuesdays, and that's when I do use the hybrid a lot. The hybrid 2.0, which I think is the first line of Black Widow that does have HK22 on it. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see what this ball does with the HK22, which it pretty much looks like the same specs. Let me raise this up so y'all can see the differential. And those that know me know I throw the big boy weight. I do throw 16, so the 16 does have an RG of 2.51, differential of 0.048. So this is, like they said, this is excuse me, she is all over the place. It does go, get from around here. Come on. Ari coming through. All right. She tried to go over there because she know I'm barely paying attention. Get out of here. Mm-hmm. But I am very excited for this ball, because I know if this ball is coming, you know what they're coming up with next, and that is probably the Ghost 3.0, which is an Pearl cover stock, and also it will probably have HK22 on it. But talking to Rob about a lot of these balls, he did say that the HK22 does seem like it does the reverse for solids are mainly read a little bit earlier than pearls, and pearls are known to go longer. But Rob had noticed, he said, when they do put the HK22 on there, he does feels like it does the opposite. Great question. We got a Jabari wanted to know. He said, just curious on your opinion of this, but do you feel like the new development of balls technology, example, new cores, composite cover stock will significantly impact how we select equipment? I think to answer your question, I think knowing your bowling style will answer that question. Far as for me, and also talking to your pro shop, knowing, with him knowing what you want to do. I think with that, with Rob telling me that I have a high tilt, and then experiments that we have done together, we do notice that with bigger cores, for me being a two-finger bowler, they roll better. They go down lane better for me. The bigger cores, they don't hook as early for me. So a lot of the equipment that I look for is I look for the core, and then try to look for a ball that I like. For example, like the Dark Code is a ball that I really bowl well with. Like I said, the 2.0 of the Black Widow family, all of them I bowl well on. But I know that all three of those balls, and now this 3.0 also has the same core, which is the gas mask core. And I know that's a big, well-rounded core. And those cores normally get down lane further for me, and especially with my high tilt. Once it hits the friction, it kind of lowers my tilt to give me that smooth roll on the back end that I like to see. But I think, like I said, to answer your question, I think it's just knowing your style a little bit better, knowing what you want to do with the ball, knowing what motion you're looking for, is to get familiar with the bowling balls that you do bowl well with, and then going off of there. I think the next ball that I'm going to buy is, besides this 3.0, I think the next ball I'm going to get is the Envy, the original Envy, because that has a big core also, and it is known for going down lane. So I think that's the next ball I'm going to get. I think the last time we were looking at, I couldn't pull up the spare screen like I can now, but we were looking at the new Jackal that just came out, which is the Crimson Jackal. And let me put that on the screen. Definitely, no problem. No problem. Because yeah, I think that's a lot of the confusion things is when we buy balls, we don't we don't look at what we already are successful at. And if you're already successful at a bowling with a bowling ball, then I definitely believe you should look into what specs those bowling balls are. What is the RG? What is the differential? And then you'll be able to also get, you know, more consistent with your game, because now your bag, and understanding your bag is huge. It's huge. It's definitely something that once I started to understand my bag a little bit better, my scores got more consistent, because now I know if a ball is overhooking. I know, for example, Tuesday. I'm going to use the sport shot as an example. On Tuesday, I started with the troublemaker. And the troublemaker started to read a little bit earlier, come the third and fourth frame of the first game, where I had a choice. I either could chase it left, or I could kind of ball down. But I know with my layouts what my ball down is. And if you don't know what your next ball down or your next ball up is, you're going to be when that transition hits, especially on certain sports shots that do transition a little earlier than house shots. Or you may go to a house that doesn't have a lot of oil and it transitions sooner. And if you want to stay in your same spot, you have to know where your ball, where the balls in your bag, where they fit. So the ball we're looking at right now is the Crimson Tide. The Crimson Jackal. It is, to me, just very similar to the Legacy. It is a pearl cover stock. Unlike the Jackal Legacy, which is a solid. As you can see, the cover stock is a pearl reactive propulsion with the Predator weight block. And ball is finished at 5,000. I also think this is going to be a ball that I put in my bag because I have the Jackal Legacy. And as you know, I throw 16. So here's the 2.48 as the RG, and the differential is at 0.47 with an intermediate diff of 0.013. Wanted to compare this ball. Compare ball. Just giving y'all an example of things that I do before I buy a ball that may be helpful to others. Because I see a lot of people, they just be buying balls. Y'all just be buying balls. I haven't actually, brought a ball in a year now. Not counting the experimental phase I had with 14 and 15. So I'm going to compare the 16 since that's what I throw. And as you can see, it is the same core. The RGs are very, very much the same. So you're probably thinking, why would you be buying this ball if they're pretty much the same ball? Well, one reason is I have my Legacy that is drilled short pin, super short pin. I think it's at a 1/2 inch. I have that drill short pin. So with this ball, what I'll be looking to do is the cover stocks, of course, because it's different because this is a pearl and this is a solid. But one thing that I am looking to do with this ball, since I have this Jackal here short pinned, I'll get the Crimson Jackal, and I will probably put a regular layout for myself, maybe a 3-inch or 4-inch, 1/4-inch pin. So when I have to come out of my Legacy, I can go right into that Jackal. So that's one of the reasons why I do plan on getting one of these balls. But I definitely look at these numbers right here before buying a ball. And that's what I definitely try to use in comparing a ball to make sure I'm not buying the same bowling ball. And that's where, a lot of people, I think, get in trouble with their game because they're buying equipment that they don't necessarily need, or they're buying equipment that they don't necessarily understand. And I think when you start to understand your equipment, your game starts to get better. And when your game starts to get better, you start to build more confidence in your bowling game. And speaking of confidence in your bowling game, I want to have a conversation. A lot of people are looking to step up into the next level of their bowling game, and I had a very, very interesting conversation. Definitely well needed. Definitely appreciative because a lot of times when you're doing things and you're so wrapped up in doing things and wanting to change, sometimes you can feel like you're complacent. You can feel in your game that you're feeling complacent. You can feel, just in life in general, you can feel complacent about what you're doing, about your job. But sometimes somebody will come over unexpected and have a conversation with you to know that you're at least headed in the right direction. And I definitely have to thank the GOAT for that phone call. But we had a great conversation, and it's something that a lot of people hear me say when I talk about a lot of bowlers. I get challenged a lot. It's funny because a lot of people don't think that I like just because I speak to you. Um, that don't mean that I don't hear what you guys say about me. That don't mean that people don't come back and tell me what y'all say. Um, the reason why I can still speak to them because it's bowling. It's never that serious. You're not going to take food out of my mouth. You're not going to, stop anything that I have going on. So I don't feel threatened or upset when somebody says something bad about me or somebody questions my game because if you only seen my game here where we are at, then you don't know me as a bowler. Because for number one of the conversations that we had is good bowlers travel. Um, they travel. Their game travels. Don't get it twisted. The good and the bad travels. Daryl tells me all the time, don't sweat your bad games too much because everybody has a 150 in their bag. You just hope it ain't that day that you pull it out. And with that, um, we just hope to always do the best we can when we're going. But the best bowlers travel. The best bowlers are not just local bowlers. They're not just bowlers in your local bowling alley. Bowling alley. This time last year, I remember doing a pot game. I think I did like 2 or 3 pot games over the Christmas break because I got upset about just the way people was talking. Um, and the way people was talking was um, it was irritating because a lot of people don't go to tournaments. They don't travel in tournaments, and they swear that they're better just because they don't come out their backyard. And I remember issuing a challenge to people to come to Lilburn because nobody wants to come out to Lilburn for some reason. Everybody always wants to do these pot bowl games out there in Fayetteville. I heard some in Austell, some in Forest Park, and we've came out there. Southern Lanes, Douglasville. I've came out there pot bowl with you guys after Ty's tournament. But it's easy to bowl where you're comfortable at. That's easy. Like I got asked about my last 300 that was at Littleburn. And those that saw the videos, like, oh man, you're not even smiling. Like you just used to, I'm tired of shooting 300s in Littleburn. I want to shoot a 300 somewhere else. So that's one of my goals. Is I'm still going to do the best I can at Littleburn. Don't get it twisted, but my goal is to finally get a 300 somewhere else. I've been close a couple of times, but a lot of y'all don't like. You're not even in a conversation with me wanting to bowl you. Let's get that straight too, because I get asked a lot. Oh, let's bowl for this. I'm just uninterested in bowling you. Like I'm not like you. You don't. You're not on my level when it comes to what I've done. And just to give, I've probably cashed in about 85% of the tournaments I've been through. And that's not nothing. That's not even a feat that I like to brag about because I only have um, one technically tournament win. I've been in first in tournaments and lost um, the first place to someone else who wanted it more. And what that did is that made me want to go to more tournaments and more tournaments. But a lot of y'all is not as good as you think you are. because you're too scared to bowl tournaments. You can't be you can't be one of the best and scared to compete. Conversation I had like with the GOAT, that made me realize something. He said something very interesting today, and if you don't know who the GOAT is, then you really need to do your bowling homework. But he said something interesting to me, and that was kind of how I felt, and I did. And sometimes it's funny how you don't know how you feel until somebody says it out loud. But I remember he said a lot of people, want to bowl you in league, and they may win, but that don't mean they're better than you. There's a lot of bowlers out here that can win in league, but that don't make them a better bowler than you. And a lot of people get that twisted. Like just because you beat me 1-on-1 for $50, um, which never happened by the way. Um, just because you beat me for that doesn't make you a better bowler. That just makes you the better bowler that day. But people like Tyrone, those of you who don't know, that's what I'm talking about as the GOAT. I mean, you got to think this man was in a car accident, a bad one, two busted up ribs, um, where we all was praying for him, and we did not know, what his game would be after he recovered. But to have somebody go through that, recover, and to me, in my eyes, no, I haven't known him that long, but to get better after the accident, that was just crazy to me. And it was something that I was like, all right, I need to really start focusing and getting down, because one thing about the Tyrone Stevens, the Justin Gibbons, the Billy Roadies, the David Porpicoles, the Tom Bellingers, Donnie Hubbard, um, who else is out there? Daryl Fields, Marvell Battle. Um, and if I don't call your name out, that's just because I don't really know your age. But they're guys that are 50. These guys. I can't think of his name right now, but it's the two-hander bowler that bowls on DSL. That's a him, Darnell Logan. Um, they were USBC record holders for the highest game, but I can't think of his name. He's another one that's just a beast out here at over the age of 50. And what's I don't know if they realize it, but it gives me hope because I'm nowhere near 50, but to know that to see people at that age and they're doing nothing but getting better, like that's amazing to watch in itself. And that's also refreshing because I know, I can still get better. I know that my day and age in this sport is nowhere near ending. Like, for example, in basketball, you're considered old when you're around 30, 32. So you're considered old, but, 30s in bowling is very young, especially compared to what these guys are doing at that age. It's amazing. But a lot of times we as bowlers, man, especially our young bowlers, I see a lot of bowlers, a lot of people, especially let me say this. I think when it comes to young bowlers, I'm not sure if they really bowl out of there, but where I see them at is Conyers. Conyers probably has some of the bowlers that bowl out of there, and I'm starting to see a couple of them go to the bowling factory and trying to get better and starting to bowl more sports shots. But Douglasville has a great new class, but the Conyers class and to the young bowlers, I want to tell you to get out here, man. Get in these tournaments. Stop worrying about losing. I mean, if you can't afford it, to each his own. Spend your money wisely. Like I tell my team, go to work because you can't come stay with me. So I understand it if you just can't afford to go, but for the ones that are doing it just off of fear, Um, and I'm gonna go ahead and say it, especially the ones that look like me. Um, Stop being scared because all it takes is one good day. All it takes is a few good days, and then a lot of y'all are up and coming, so you still have some handicap. But but when you're up and coming, get into those handicap tournaments. But when you're no longer up and coming, it's time, and you're here. As I consider myself, I'm here. Anybody who's on the lanes with me, you just gotta hope I'm having a bad day because I'm here. And what got me here is those tournaments, bowling out of town, bowling in North Carolina, and not only just in groups and just going by myself, like getting out there to see what it's like to bowl with nobody around me, with no one helping, just me. I think that is a big thing too. Getting out of your comfort zone, because everywhere you go, the ball there's 10 pins on a lane and 60-foot lanes. So it's no different. Yes, the all patterns and things may be different, but you got to come outside, and that's the way you get better. Stop worrying about losses. Stop, like that's stupid, because we all know in bowling it's any given day. Any given day, somebody could do what they do and beat you, but in the long run, um, I don't see a lot of people improving. Um, like especially like me, it is a mentality. Because if your mentality ain't right, you're not gonna go far anyway. And a lot of times, a lot of these bowlers, even the good bowlers, you got to fix your mentality. Your mental is the number one thing, and you get a lot of people. I got a lot of people that was upset with me. A lot of people on my team, they don't like the way how I talk to them. They don't like sometimes, but I just you can't be mediocre around me. I don't care what we're doing. I don't care if we're playing jacks. I don't care if we're playing hopscotch. Which you just cannot be mediocre around me, and that's what I demand of my team. And if my team demands me to be a leader, and they call me captain, and they go, you got to take everything together. It's there's no mediocrity, and in order to be one of the best, and or even to see what it takes to get there, you have to put yourselves out there. You have to go. Even though me and Top Dog, um, I have a little gripe with them on a business level, but those that go out there to Top Dog, that's a good start. But they got tournaments in South Carolina. I want to see us doing those in South Carolina also, not just in Top Dog. The military tournament, there's groups. Um, Rhonda Kennedy. Rhonda Kennedy is a great person to get to know, because she puts on a couple of events where her people go out to. I remember the first year I bowled with Rhonda, we went to Tulsa, where I got to experience it. I got to see and understand what I need. Um, where else did we go? We went to Pensacola. We bowled out there. Um, we also bowled. We also did the the SBC tournament, the Southern Bowling Congress. I did that in Alabama. Last year it was in Florida. This year is in in Tennessee, Memphis, I believe. Um, so stuff like that helps you get better when you start to look at things. Because one thing about the South, especially here in Georgia, we have some of the most difficult lanes. And I remember going to doubles tournament. It was a sports shot, and it was me and Daryl. And after practice, me and him looked at each other and was like, "Man, this is Lil Bird." like, and we ended up finishing second, where a lot of people couldn't figure it out. A lot of high average people, um, a lot of people dropped out because they couldn't figure it out. But that's something that we used to. So, but you have to get yourself out there, and by getting yourself out there, that's when you're going to determine who you are as a bowler. Getting better out there. I see a lot of people like, yo, you wanna be in a pot bowl game and win some money. Hey, that's really what it is when you're out there with bowlers that you know is better than you. But then you're still competing with them because, like I tell anybody, I'm not afraid to go against anybody because they got to throw the ball just like me. But a lot of us is scared, man, and I don't know what we're scared of to go out of town to fail. Like, like you know how many tournaments I did go to? Um, Military tournament, first year I went, I actually came in first in singles, but got re-rated on the spot that dropped me down to fourth, and I finished fourth out of about 5,000 bowlers. Um, it was okay, but I wanted to win. I need. I haven't had that feeling of winning in a long time. And I think this next time when I do it, it's going to mean it's going to mean more because now I don't have no sticks. I don't have no help. I don't. Y'all don't have no excuses now. When I do come out there, and if I and when I get that win, um, your hope is that it's just not tomorrow or it's not Sunday. But you can call it cocky or call it what it wants. But it's a lot of high average bowlers that don't have the mentality that I have, and they struggle, and I understand why. And you struggle because of your mindset, and because you're not getting out there to better bowlers, and that's not league. I tell people all the time I'm not really interested in battling anybody in league. What I am interested in is I'll be chilling at league until you call my name, but for the most part in league, I'm preparing myself for tournaments. You have to. I know a lot of us bowl the city tournament. Take that $50 and go to an out of state tournament. There's plenty of tournaments out here. I think there's a lady named Tina out here. She throws tournament to the military tournament. Like I said, first time I went to the military tournament, I finished fourth. Was first, then got re-rated and finished fourth. The next year I went, um, I was but it was bad because um I didn't bowl well. But me not bowling well, I went back the next year, and then the next year. And not only did I do that, I still went to the SBC, went to other tournaments. I am interested in going to the Rodman, things like that. I am going to 250 Masters this year, I think. Granted, if it's not on the tour stop. Because I'm gonna let y'all know that now. And I've told my team this. One way to get me out of here and to get me not get control to the outsiders to somebody else is once we win. Um, that's kind of is my focus. Is getting the outsiders to Battle Bowl. And once I do that, I'm definitely going to be focusing a lot more than a lot of people already know. I focus a lot on my game now, but I'm going to be focused a lot more focused after that. But we have to go to these tournaments out of town. Um, like that is the way to get better. That's to see the competition. I don't know if Vince is still up here, but I definitely respect the grind that Vince is doing because he's not doing the normal grind like any other bowler. No, what he's doing is he's putting his money where his mouth is. He's investing into his game. And a lot of people may not like the journey that he's doing, but I think the journey that he's doing is for him. It may not be your journey, but the journey for him, and it's going to be rewarding. We may not see it today, we may not see it tomorrow, but that those experiences that he learned, and knowing Vince personally, he asks questions. Like he's not somebody who is going to just sit there and um let an opportunity pass where he can get that knowledge. But and I think we all should be that way. It may not be going to regionals, but just going to a tournament, man, that's not in your backyard. Come to a different tournament. Come come to some place where you can get fed, far as knowledge, where you can get that experience, because league is cool. League is part of my goal this year. My goal is to try to win a league this year. Um, that's been my goal for the last 2 years. I'm in pretty good shape this year. Probably some of the best shape that I've been in the last 2 years. I had two teams finish second, and then we still have half the season to go. So I'm looking forward to this upcoming season and winning that. But I know to get my game to the next level, I have to do more tournaments. Tournaments is definitely a way to get better, and it's just I'm not saying local tournaments when I say tournaments. We have to get out here, especially as these young guys are. I mean, I do consider you know going to Douglasville, Southern Lanes tournaments. I do consider that a personal challenge every time I go there. I know a lot of people, don't like bowling there. Say, "Oh, the house bowlers just take over." Um, and that may be true in your opinion, but not mine because I'm out there. Um, after we finish, after we finish a tournament, I definitely go and pop bowl with them guys afterwards, so I can get familiar with the lanes. So I could talk to them to see how those lanes are. Um, Douglasville to me is a challenge because, like you said, you have a lot of great bowlers that do come out of there. But if you don't go out there and get your tail whooped, you don't know what to expect. When you come back, a lot of y'all just go out there one time and you just quitting, and that's not the way to be a better bowler. I go out there often because it's a challenge. It's not an easy shot out there for me. I'm not a person who likes to go left, but that shot forces me left out there. That's why I tell everybody, come out here to Lilburn, experience the same thing. We'll come out there where you at, but a lot of people, oh, I don't want to take the drive. I don't want to. You don't want to be great. You go to these tournaments, high handicap, and then you go and you do nothing there, and then I'll never see y'all post that y'all going to the tournament again. But you average 240 in league or 230 in league, and then you talking to the local kid on the line on the lane who betting $50, and you want to go take his money, but then when we go to the tournament out of town, you ain't doing nothing. It's the same thing. We have to get out of town. We have to start getting into these tournaments to get better. Start getting now. Even to start. I believe in February, Critical Role is throwing a tournament. And in their tournament, if I'm not mistaken, is Scratch. So there's a start for you, for people to come and to start, you know, and to start, getting familiar with those scratch tournaments, knowing what to stop, knowing what to bowl, knowing what to bring to. It's so much stuff you learn when you actually take the time to go to a tournament. not even just a tournament, but just to go out of town and bowl. Would you stop? Yeah, go throw it in trash. Thank you. But yeah, but speaking of Critical Role, I got I gotta show y'all something because I'm gonna migrate a little bit to the UBA. But while I'm pulling this up, just to close and just to speak on that, yeah, I had a great conversation with the GOAT, and it was definitely something I've been feeling a while because I didn't quite understand like why. Like, don't get me wrong, I care about league. Like, I don't want to make it seem like I don't. I care. I love league because I get to see the progression of the game of my game with certain ones. But stick around, Leonard, because we definitely got to talk about something. But I definitely see a lot of up and coming younger bowlers, but you're going about it the right way, but you're not finishing the job. You're investing into your equipment. You're stepping up to the plate when you see better bowlers. You're challenging better bowlers. I love to see what this new generation is doing. I love to see. I love to see. You know, the higher average and the killers be challenged. I love seeing that. But you got to understand too, just because um you beat them in league, don't get it twisted. You're still not getting picked over them. You like the GOAT helped me realize that in our conversation is we they know who the best is because the ones that you were challenging, the Tyrones, the Terrence Brights, the Corey Richardsons, they're going out here. Nick Reed, they're going out to these 250 masters and cashing and finishing second or whooping these people asses out there. We already know what Tyrone does. He goes out tournament after tournament with the best there is out there and does it time after time after time. And not only does he do it, he's separate. My $3,000 tournament, Ty Tillery bowled outstanding. Ty Tillery was putting on a show, and Ty Tillery came up second. And I believe the difference was by 200 points, 200 pins. And then third, I think Ty would separated himself by 200 pins from third. So that means it was a 400 pin difference that Tyrone did. Like, and then we think, oh, just because, oh, I beat him in a 5-game series or a 3-game series, that man done beat the world. That man done beat the world. And we over here bragging about. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, and I've never told this story out loud because I know it didn't mean anything. My first tournament win, I had to face Tyrone, um, and more than ever did I rely on my handicap to do it. But I knew in that win, it was nothing to brag about. That's why a lot of y'all don't even. I don't even talk about this. It's not nothing to brag about because that was like one win to his 1,000 or million, wins. So it's never a comparison. It's never enough because I've seen this man go 300, 300 or 300, 279. And after all my 300s, I don't think I think one time I shot a 300, I had a 200 game after that. So to maintain that focus, that's something that you only really learn as you're going through tournaments because you know your money's on the line. You have to get involved with out of state tournaments. Like I told Vince all the time, I love what he's doing. He is out here getting better. He's learning. He's putting himself out there. Like I said, my only fear with him, as I told him, is that I don't want him to get burnt out because I see the love so much, but I also see the improvement. So when you see yourself improving and you're willing to take those losses, like a lot of y'all just got to get y'all mentality fixed. A lot of y'all just cry too fucking much. Y'all just cry too fucking much about nothing. It could be about, oh, he put urethane on the rack, or he did this. The urethane just mean adjust. Like, god damn, it's a bowling ball. It's legal. Like, shut up. A lot of y'all just need to shut up. Like, yes, you're going into tournaments, you're bowling these tournaments, you're doing well, but then, oh, he got handicapped. Man, it's a handicap tournament. Like, don't bowl it if it means that much to you. Shut up. Like, a lot of y'all just need to shut up, stop crying, and bowl. Like, man, like I bowled in Ty's tournament 2 weeks ago, or was it last weekend? Or last Sunday. I bowled horrible. I had one game over my average, and that was the last game. And you know what I told Ty? Hey, see you at the next one. See you at the next one. Because we got to stop crying and start getting better. Like, get yourself out there. Learn how to lose. Because be honest with you, if you learned the lesson, it's really not a loss. Because I learned something about that tournament too. Stop leaving equipment at home. Be more like Trey. Trey, go buy yourself a wagon if you don't want to carry all that equipment. It's simple. Go to these out-of-state tournaments and start bowling out of state. That's how you're going to get better. That's when you see that competition out there and you seeing they throwing a ball just like you. Like, I don't get y'all in this sport. Y'all cry. That man, I go to a bowling out, everybody throwing the ball just like me. What make me any different from them? Not a goddamn thing. The only reason why I don't watch PBA is I feel the only thing I don't like about the PBA, and me personally, and I stopped watching it, is because they're no different than me. Those guys in the PBA are no different than me. They just have more access to me. That is it. Their access is more. They have better, they have better access to get equipment. A lot of times they don't pay for it. That's the only difference. They have the more time. If I guarantee you, I'm willing to put money on. If I could put just as much time as anybody else that's on TV, I could be right there on TV. I'm not. A lot of y'all be crying. Oh, 8 games, I'm tired. 10 games, I'm tired. We went to the jams. We bowled 10 squads. 10 squads. We did what? 2 Thursday? No, 2 Friday, 3 Saturday, 3 Sunday, 2 Monday. All back to back to back. Everybody tell, oh, I'm tired, man. We done bowled a lot. Man, that's 10 games. 10 squads. That's not a lot. And then some of y'all want to go on the PBA and fool with them guys. And them guys got to bowl 18 games to even qualify for the next round or to get on TV. And y'all think y'all can out here and y'all challenging these guys like, yo, like, yo, the little money y'all winning off of people, that ain't nothing. That ain't nothing because, man, you tell me you beat me in a series. Like, for example, I'm not gonna call his name out, but somebody we were talking and we bet. I bowled a 795 and he bowled a 700. I bowled a 695 and he bowled a 700 even. And he was like, "Oh, I beat you. Yeah, I beat you. My team won." Like, yo, it does not even matter. Like y'all, you can beat me this day, but when you come to jams and you tired at Saturday and we still got 2 more games to go, like how we're bowling, we're throwing a ball that's not even a fraction of our weight. How are you tired? What are you doing? I can literally bowl all day long. People think I'm weird because I'll go before league. I'll go to a bowling alley and I'll bowl 3 or 4 games before league. Like that is nothing. And y'all out here talking about y'all tired. Y'all here keep crying about stuff. Man, get out here and bowl. Shut up and bowl. Especially if you're from where I'm from, because I'm trying to take a group over to North, South Carolina, and I'm trying to beat them guys. All of them. And they trying to do the same thing. They love the competition down there. It's all love down there for you North and South Carolina folks. But we trying to take y'all heads off. Trying to take everybody heads off. Those shots that they got down there, man, shoot. Y'all crazy. Give me them shots any day. I'm telling you now, if I lived in North Carolina, I'll average 240 easily. And then I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm gonna be mad as shit because I'm gonna be mad as hell because when I go somewhere else, I'm gonna be disappointed that the shot ain't the same. I can tell you that. But let's go ahead and like Reggie said, he just bowled 23 games 2 weeks ago, pot bowling from 6 to 2 a.m. Like, I don't get how y'all get tired bowling. I just don't get it. And let me make a correction that I said earlier. Randy said that Critical Role is actually just the sponsors. The tournament is actually put on by Mike McKinley and the Georgia Scratch Bowling Tour. I remember them from last season. Okay, so they just renamed it a little bit. Okay, I got you. But yeah, I plan on doing a couple of those Georgia Scratch tournaments, especially after that chat I had today. Because, like, this man is putting the blueprint out in front of us. This is the only sport where you get to talk to a GOAT, where you get to talk to the best that's doing it. This is the only sport. I love the Cowboys. I love the Knicks. I'll probably never run into Julius Randle. I'll probably never see Patrick Ewing. I'll take that back. I've seen him a couple times. But Dak Prescott, probably never seen him. Patrick Mahomes, probably never run into him. Kyle Troop, seen him, met him a couple of times. Tyrone Stevens, bowl with him. I can go right in the parking lot, right in the bowling alley. I can text him, reach out and touch him, and say, "Hey, sir, what do I need to do?" And what he tells me is, you need to put yourself out there. You need to go on more tournaments. You need to bowl out of town. You need to do 250 Masters. You need to do the Rodman. You need to go out there and know what it feels like. If you're really trying to be the best, because the best compete with the best, and this is where the best is. This is the only sport that lays the blueprint out for you. Like, I don't get it. A lot of you younger guys, I just feel like y'all definitely need what's the word I'm looking for? Definitely need a wake up call, because a lot of us aren't as good as we think we are because we haven't accomplished anything. Yes, and Randy said the same thing. Like, we love the challenge. It's about the challenge. That's what I bowl. That's what I play sports for. That's what I compete for. I don't want to be. I don't want to win easily. I don't want to win easily. I want to win because it's tough and did it against the best. Because if you're not playing against the best, if you're not battling against the best, you're just beating yourself up because it's not going to show off when it comes. But let's talk about this real quick. Let's talk about this ranking system now. Let's switch gears a little bit to the UBA. Let's let's discuss this top 25. Um, this top 25 is it really got under my skin, and the crazy part is it got under my skin because critical role is I don't know what y'all did to Jason Hale, but he's definitely not a fan of y'all, especially when it comes to these team rankings. Because I'm trying to figure out how y'all were number one in our division and number two right now in our division, and you're not even on the top 25. Now, don't now. Granted, I do know Jason Hell has a system, and this is just for entertainment purposes. I don't know exactly what he uses. What in the world, little girl? I don't know what exactly he uses as a standpoint, but I'm just going based off of sporting knowledge and personal opinion here. It's no doubt about it that I do not know a lot of yes, Leonard, I can't bring you on. Give me a second. I gotta send you the link. There is a lot of hold on, Leonard. I'm sending you a private message right now. But it's a it's a lot of teams that I don't know about. And give me a second, y'all. Let me bring Leonard in because Leonard knows a lot of these teams, and he can kind of give a little bit more insight than what I can. Um, but I just don't see it. Let's take a look real quick. Yes, nope. This is last week's. So this is the current standings right now. Um, Let me see how I can send Leonard this link. Give me one moment, y'all. But I just don't get it. I will I I just hold on one second. Give me my daughter's having a crisis because Miss Rachel is not on the iPad. You know how these kids are with Miss Rachel. Leonard, download StreamYard Guest. It'll be easier if you do it that way. Anybody who wants to be a guest, make sure y'all download StreamYard Guest. StreamYard, for those that's wondering, is the system that I'm using. And I want to appreciate the people that are on dealing with me. I'm still learning the system. So a lot of it is trial and error. And as we continue on throughout the year, you're going to see the production get better and better. I'm currently getting my other computer updated. So I know the camera on this one isn't the best. We are streaming live on Twitch and YouTube. I'm going to have a Facebook group that's going to have a more schedule. As y'all know, this is the outside, a late night talk show for bowling. Excuse me. And like we were just talking about, wanted to reach out to a lot of the up and coming bowlers. As we just finished talking about that, with trying to get more, get them more of an understanding, get them more prepared. Because like I be seeing a lot of people that be bowling, and they think they're good, but I don't see them nowhere. So it's like I can't even take you serious. And some of you I only see at tour stops, which I'm not going to say that doesn't count, but tour stops, you're not out there by yourself. You got to be out there by yourself so you can learn. Um, I just sent you the link, Leonard. I'll just text it to you because I do want to get into this. So this is our current standings. This was the standings before the last tour stop. As you can see, Critical Role, and I'm gonna do it from right here. This is probably like I think this is the third week. So if you can see the third week, Critical Role was up top. If you can see the first week, oh, that was the second. So the first, they were tied for first. Second, they were first. Third stop, they were first by 30. Fourth stop, they were first. Fifth stop, they were first. I'm sorry, that was the fourth. This is the fifth stop. They were, and now the sixth stop, DSL taking over. Now, don't get me wrong. Um, as we add Leonard. Don't get me wrong. Can you hear me, Leonard?
I hear you.
Okay. So as we were, just talking, is I'm seeing. Let me put the Hale top 10 back up on the screen.
Oh yeah, that shit.
So help me understand how a team like Critical Role, who had, yes, granted they had two bad losses, but tell me how they're not even on the top 25.
A lot of it is, to me, looking at this list. Shit.
Now, like you
Yeah,
said,
y'all got
like
your
I said
minute. Y'all
already,
got your minute.
these are our personal opinions. This is no bash on Jason Hill, who does a great job of putting these out.
It's not. I don't think it's really a bash because I'm gonna throw a team like Gatekeepers out for a second. All right, Gatekeepers. All right, so they dropped 12 spots. They was in ninth, and they dropped 12 spots because they lost 32 to meet the wasted potential.
So, do you think he's doing it based off of how bad you lost also? Oh, did Leonard freeze? Oh, Leonard froze. Leonard looked like he was in the closet, but he ended up freezing. But until we can get him back. Oh, okay, he's back. Hold up.
All right.
There he goes.
All right. So I was saying, I'm gonna throw an example. Like I said, I threw Gatekeepers out there only because they just lost. So Gatekeepers was ninth, and then they lost 32 to 8 to wasted potential, and they dropped 12 spots.
Yeah, but to have bless you.
Thank you.
But to have Critical Role not even on the list.
Top. I mean, the Triad District is going to be easy. QC, like you got to think, if you look at those top three teams right there, Hitman, DC, and Delegaff. Hitman bowled, they bowled Outcast, which they was a second. DC bowled Stay Dangerous, and I think they won like 22 to 18 because a dude gutter off of a spare, and they lost by 17 pins. Yeah, I probably put my foot up his ass too. I think Synergy barely won. Striker Vipers won. Outcast took a fall, but they both Hitmen. Wasted potential. They beat Gatekeepers, but I think there's a bonus in there if you beat a playoff team. So Gatekeepers is a playoff team. I think it's just like if teams beat y'all, it's like y'all was a playoff team last year, so they go get that little boost. But I'm gonna throw you a bone. I'll throw everybody a fucking bone right now. I'm gonna throw my team out there for example. We moved up 10 spots to 32nd, right? Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Martrell? Martrell?
My bad,
Hold
I
up.
was muted. But yeah, I hear you.
All right. I'm throwing everybody a bone right now. So if you look in the other page, we jumped 10 spots to 32nd, right? Now they try to say this is like based off averages and numbers and all this bullshit, right? My team's in 6th place. Stay with me now.
I'm here.
Stay with me. My team's in 6th place. Why is my team leading total pins in the district? We're number 1 in total pins.
Yeah, I had a conversation with Nick Smith about that in your division, and the highest pin total is not equaling to wins. Why do you think that is?
Matchups. It's all about matchups. It's all about matchups. When our first tour stop of the year, we shot our match with Complete Anarchy, both teams shot 6,400. Complete Anarchy bowls anybody else in the building outside of us, they win.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like Sunday. We were second high pins in the building next to a Rampage by 24.
And I'm seeing that a lot this year because that's the same thing for even our district.
We won by near 500.
Like looking at top shelf stunners,
I
think 4 out of the 6 tour stops we done had, top shelf stunners was the number 2 highest pin total in that stop. The problem with it was they were facing the number 1 pin total team of that stop. So if they would have bowled anybody else, they would have definitely won a lot more than what they have.
Right. I mean, I've gone back and looked at other districts, just like I was talking to you. Like some of these other districts, they could be at 1st, 2nd, 3rd place in any other district. Like right now, let's take the Intercoastal District. So the top 3 teams is Synergy, Beach Brawlers, and Striker Vipers. They'll be 1st place in the damn Palmetto District right now. We probably gonna have the lowest between us and y'all districts. I think the districts have a more parity. These other districts don't have true parity.
Now here's your district.
Yes, that's my district. Hey, men lie, women lie, numbers don't fucking lie.
I'm trying to blow it up, but I don't think I did this right.
Yeah, blow that up a little bit.
Whoa. Oh, there we go. Put this down.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Oops. Hold on. Okay. This is All right, this is the best we're gonna have right here.
All right.
So according to this is y'all division, the Palmetto division, and with the Palmetto division, um, like you said, Bufu right now is number one in point total, followed by Spartanburg with a close second, followed by Carolina Rampage, followed by Spartanburg, which is followed Savages, which is followed by the Gatekeepers. And right now, Bufu is 6, and the Savages is 7, and they're both top 3 in point total, pin total, which is crazy to think about.
Mm-hmm.
You would
So
think
that's when
the
y'all
pin total.
pay attention to that Southeast page and say Bufu trash and all those guys like Senzo and all them and everybody want to follow the fucking crowd, but we lead total pins. Apparently we suck somewhere, right? Can't win.
Now I gotta ask you this. Now that I have you on, let me ask you this, because as you can hear the previous conversation we had, we were talking about bowlers being prepared, and I know you for yourself. I know you're a former heavyweight champion with the UBA. You've
Yep.
been to Battle Bowl. You have great attributes as a solo bowler, and just talking to as a solo bowler, if there was new up and coming guys in your bowling alley, what would you say to them about what they need to do to get better? As you can see, they're putting in the work as far as the practice. They're buying into their equipment. What's the next step they need to do?
I mean, you just got to keep working. You got to keep grinding. Honestly, I mean, nothing else really. You got to keep grinding because you're gonna take your lumps. And even I started bowling in 22, 23, so 21 years ago. And honestly, I took my lumps. I started out as a 142 average bowler. And then all I did was go in and I worked at Triad. I practiced almost every damn day. So I had the guys like your Miles, like your Kelly Hayes and Lawrence Lowe's, Troy Wallace's, the Kedrick Murphys. Kid was like more of an inspiration to me. Him, Brian Smoke Farrar. Like I could go on and on. And I'm gonna tell you this story, and I will never forget. One night after a Wednesday night league, I called somebody out on a microphone, and that dude's Hall of Fame potential. I called him on a microphone. I was arrogant as hell, didn't even give a fuck. But then, I'm a young kid. I'm trying to get my name known. And then I had Troy Wallace. After that night, Troy Wallace pulled me aside. He said, "This ain't way to do it. You gotta go out here, you gotta earn it." You know what I'm saying? Calling out people like Eric Williams, who's been doing it 20, 30 plus years. I've been doing it for like 2 or 3. And I'm like I was 182, people to 205. So it's kind of like I'm going to, it's all about learning. You got to go out there, put your name. You got to go put your name out there.
Now,
you got to go to different tournaments.
Right. Okay. Because that was going to be my next question. Because you said 2 interesting things. You said one is you have to put your name out there, but before you said that, you said you have to take your lumps. And what does that consist of? What is taking your lumps? Because I think where a lot of people get it confused is they always want to stack the deck up to win, and they don't understand the taking your lumps, what that actually does for your game. If you could elaborate on that.
So taking your lumps is if I'm bowling a tournament. Sometimes you like your first couple turbos you want to bowl, you don't want to think about winning. you want to think about how can you put yourself against the field. Don't think about the W. The W will come later on. It's like basketball. You gonna miss more than what you make. You gonna miss your shots. So it's like,
Can't be scared to take them.
and you can't be scared to take it.
Mm-hmm.
Opportunities now, now, like, you learning, you trying to process it, because it's like muscle memory. After you get in for some years, you could be able to repeat shots.
Right.
I make mistakes too. We all do. We all throw bad shots. We can't get mad. But getting, like, back then, I did all the local shit. I did like the Queen Bees that came to town. I got my first taste of Augusta probably like my 3rd year of bowling. I bowled Southeastern. One year I subbed with Maurice Tripp and Mal. I remember because I had a 182. And Mal saw me going out, making money, doing everything. I was killing it for 2 years off of my 140 and my 180. And Mal said, you better report your shit. You better come with every motherfucking thing you did. And I did. I report every win I could think of. But guess what? It got guys like Mal and Mo Tripp wanted me to bowl with them. That's how I got out there. That's how you earn the respect of your peers. So
is bowling the stuff where they see you at, as far as tournaments.
I mean, being I live at the beach, it's different. It's a totally different atmosphere than when I lived in Greensboro and whatnot. Because Greensboro is a little bit bigger. Right. There's more money leagues you can take advantage, but like I said, there's more competition. You come to the beach, it's kind of like secluded. It's like you got your little clique. I don't want to say cliques. Cliques is a little strong word. You got your normal house rats. So I'm sure that being this video will be sharing the side page. I probably don't give a damn if anybody take personal to this. Take it personal. Don't care.
Hey, it's a late night show. Tell them how you feel. Talk your shit.
I'm going to say this. Like, if Little River bowlers, sometimes some will venture out to Myrtle Beach Bowl. Then you got your Surfside bowlers. That's just going to stay at Surfside. You got they not going to leave that general area. And that's just calling a spade a spade.
Right, and it's like that. I think in most places where you have
not too many folks go to Planet Fun, which is probably about 15 minutes from Little River. And then you got your Wilmington houses. It's like this. Not too many people from Beach Bowl. They're going to venture out to Ten Pin. There'll probably be more bowls that bowl out of Ten Pin that would venture out over to Beach Bowl, but not too many. So it's kind of like everybody got their little comfort zone. They can just put their foot on the couch and just chill, pop a brew. Right. It's what it is.
Now, I know a lot of people who's fresh and new to the UBA. They see the belts, they see what's going on. They interested. And just like how I learned with joining in the WCS, it's a difference between being interested and being in it.
Yup.
It's a big difference. So with your personal opinion, and right now, of course, you had a little bit of setbacks last year, and now you're coming back into the ranks as a cruiserweight, and I think you're 2 matches away from a cruiserweight title.
Yep.
what does it take to be a WCS champion?
Yeah, putting in the work. So my mindset is a little more different now than it was when I was in the heavyweight series.
Well, hold on. Let me interrupt you real quick. And I want you to start from the moment that you decide that you want to do this, the traveling, the ups, the downs. I want you to talk about it all from the beginning to the end of the process of what you mentality also, what you have to
Are you talking
do.
about when I was in the heavyweight series and when I was or really from the cruiserweight series trying to come back into it, or both?
Well, from both, because you still have to schedule, you have to travel, you have to, you got to get in a mindset that, hey, I'm about to drive 3 to 4 hours,
Mhm.
and I might go to Game 7, and I might have to pay lineage
Yep.
to where.
So
So talk about
so
that whole process.
all right, I'll start from heavyweight. So when I first got into the series, I actually got into it the year I got suspended. Yes, I was suspended by the UBA. We won't go into that. And I did it as far as I'm gonna cut this damn light off. All right. So I did it as far as I said, you know what? I think, these belts kind of cool, And Dougie at the time was going for the world title. He beat Ed Schuler. And I was like, damn, I want to do that, There's probably like an old selfie with Dougie's old belt way back when.
Shout
But
out to Dougie. I was just saying, shout out to Dougie.
yeah, oh, Dougie's on.
You about to get arrested? Yeah.
Oh no. I mean, my damn niece just drove in. I was gonna try and figure what the fuck. But so my so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get into the series. So the match that they gave me was before they really come with these dumbass rankings. It was me versus Mal versus Morris Click. Now,
But they used to have three-way
triple threat.
matches.
Yep,
Triple
we used to have
threat.
triple threat matches.
Wow.
So a triple threat match is a race to 3. So it's basically first man who wins three games win.
That is crazy.
Yep.
That's crazy.
So whoever loses, the losers, which is the 2 losers, got to pay the lineage.
They should do more title matches like that. That's dope.
Well, back then, it was more of how is your match going to be entertaining? It's about the draw of the match.
Right.
So it was kind of like some people felt like title shots was a little favoritism, maybe.
Right. So what did you have to go through mentally? Like what was that preparation like?
So my first match, I bowled Darrell Floyd from High Octane. And I think I beat him in like 5, maybe 6. I think 5 I beat him. We bowled in Lumberton. So it wasn't many at that time. So I think we had like 12 bowlers. But they already had a champion, so it didn't even matter.
12 bowlers in the series.
Yeah. So I think I moved up and I had to bowl my own teammate in the next match. And that was probably the most one of my stressful matches I had to bowl because one, it's a teammate. And to be honest, I'm not the popular guy. I'm not. But when folks saw that it was me and Jack Ness. Jack Ness was on Boofu at the time. He has the uncapped tag belts with Matt Martin. So me and Jack Ness had to bowl each other. And we couldn't really agree on the match. We just tried to find somewhere that was kind of like halfway between us, like house-wise.
Now, when you say agree on the match, you got to think it's people who's trying to get into WCS and new to BA.
Well, now they emphasize the home house a whole lot now, but because it was a teammate, it was kind of like that match was just left up to us.
Right.
We did it like in the middle of the week, like on a late afternoon, some shit. We bowled in Laurinburg. We bowled at a place we never bowled at ever. So that was like the first time we ever stepped in a place.
Right.
So it was Joey's Clinton idea. He just threw out a place. So all you see on the Southeast page was Jack is about to beat Free. Jack's going to sweep Free. Leonard has no chance against Jack Ness. That's all I see. Everybody hope Jack beats me. I'm like, damn, that's my damn teammate. But
what was your averages at the time?
Right. But we teammates.
No, I said, what was your averages at the time?
I was like 225 around that time.
Okay.
But I was bowling a lot. Jack was 225-ish, give or take. So it didn't matter to us if I win. To each other, it doesn't matter.
Right. As long as one of y'all, right? Because one of y'all was
coming. One of us is good. So Jack goes up, and when we bowled, it took 200 to win a game. I think Jack won the first game. I won game 2. I lost the next 2. I was down 3-1 to Jack. But the thing about Jack, though, Jack was sick as a dog.
Man.
He was sick. He was hacking, you name it. That was it. And like I said, Jack didn't really. Jack had a decent look, but it was kind of like it was a grind. It was going to be a grind match, and that's what it was. Like every game, it was like first 200 wins, and we had games that was like 180, 190 to win the matches. So I brought down the playing field a whole lot. Because let's be honest, Jack Ness, that motherfucker can strike. He can. I'm not gonna sit there and put a front on. Jack Ness can fucking strike. But I don't know what the fuck happened. I think I probably had some fire up my ass. And the next 3 games, I go 778 over 3 games. I don't think I shot 778 for the first 4 combined.
Damn.
Jack was like, what the fuck got into you? I said, I don't even know. I went 260, 250, 270 to beat Jack the last 3. I had a lot. Jack.
Is it now? Let me ask you this: were you going to tournaments at this time? Were you competing? You
I
know,
was
with
balling like all the time.
so it wasn't something that you just climbed into. It was something that you knew you had to face, and you knew what to do based off of your previous experience.
I mean, when it comes down to match play, it's you versus the bowler. It's 1-on-1. Averages don't mean shit. It averages don't mean shit at all. You gotta have the mentality that I'm gonna go beat this dude, but I'm gonna take it one game at a time. And that time, I bowled my number one contender match, and me and the dude got in each other's face talking shit almost the whole match. We was nose to nose. Like me and Darnell was nose to nose. Me and Lawrence Brixey was nose to nose. People thought we was gonna fight. We went 6 and I beat him. And I had to both Ty Rose for the belt.
Which Tyrone?
And, no, Ty Rose. He was on
Ty Rose.
Ty Rose, he's on Disorderly Conduct. And
Hey, great segue.
Yeah, huh?
I said great segue. Disorder. No, that's Stay Dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's going on over there? Like for the
So
people.
hold on. Let me tell you the Ty story. I went over, and me and Ty was on the same team before on TNT. And I walked over to Ty, the Man of Stone, all them. I said, I'm taking that belt. I ain't give a fuck. I said, I'm taking that belt. And then when I had to bowl him in High Point. I'm gonna tell you what my dumb ass did. My dumb ass, Alan King got on Facebook and wanted to do a call-out match with me. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do this damn call-out match. Whatever. I ain't got nothing to lose. So I did a call-out match for like $200. And I was with I stayed over at Mal's house the night before. I was hanging out with Rachel Adams, everybody. We was all drinking and shit. I was just chilling. And I went over there. I bought us call-out match at Triad. I lost in 5 or 6. I didn't care. And Dougie said, you need to change jerseys. You need to get all that bad juju out of you. I said, I'm good. And that's all I told myself. I said, I'm good. I had all my teammates there. And Kevin Decker, he really didn't want me to win that belt. So, I'll wait till Martrell get back.
My bad. Somebody was finally sleepy.
Oh, no, that's fine. So, when I actually bought my title match, I had TK and Rudy on my left, and then Lee and Crystal Maverick was on like the other end. We was balling our matches. And that was the day Kevin Decker told fellow Lewis, because Decker was the WCS coordinator at the time. He was hoping I didn't win that belt. He really didn't want me to win that belt. He didn't, and that's cool.
How long did you hold it for?
Not long. Only because I had to defend the belt before going to Mega Bowl, and I lost the belt. Yep. But I mean, it is what it is.
Now,
so,
did you keep trying after you lost it, or was that?
I did. I did actually a couple times. I got eliminated not too long after that. I think I tried like a couple years later, and I had a bowl Cal Troop. I had a chance to get into a number one contender match twice. I lost to Kyle Troop in one of them. And then the other time I had a chance to get into the number one contender match, which I had a bowl Chad Weitzel, which I was a little pissed because me and Chad, we always been pretty good friends and stuff.
Now, I know you in the cruiserweight division, and I know a
Yeah,
lot of people are already walking away thinking, you and I forgot the other guy's name who they're saying is going to walk away with it.
me,
But I
it'll
know
be
a lefty.
Paul Chapman, and Kevin Decker.
Kevin is in it?
Kevin's in the title match this month.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
But I got to throw another name out there. I got to throw a lefty out there. That I think if the next person that wins, I think somebody's going to have to see a KC, and we already know how dangerous KC could be.
I agree.
Especially new team, new backing. Now, and when I say backing, I mean different support.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is big as we try to go after these belts and go after here.
The thing about like, Decker and Paul, they bought a couple weeks ago. And even Withers was like, Paul gonna win that belt. Paul gonna win that belt. I was like, and I saw the couple of scores that came out. Paul shot 140. I was like, what the fuck?
Being in the league in the WCS before, I've thrown games away because
you want to try to find a look. I get it.
Trying to get lined up. Trying to see what the next game is going to bring, or even the next two games. So I've been in the series where I threw away a game because of that. So I can understand a 140.
Well, their scores wasn't as high, but
where were they?
I don't think anything over 230 was shot. 230, 240 was shot.
You know where they were at?
Ashboro. And Paul normally bowls well in Ashboro. And Paul's had a hot hand for the longest right now. He's been on a hot hand. Just to have brain fart day. Yeah, it was a shock. But
like I said earlier, like I said in the beginning of this podcast, everybody got a 150 in their bag. They just hope it don't come out that day.
Yep. And I'll say this: people hate that I'm in the cruiserweight series. I'm not gonna front.
Now, let me ask you this, because since you brought it up, why do you think Leonard gets so much hate?
Leonard Freeman. That's it. I'm the guy. I don't kiss nobody's ass. I don't care. It's like, all right, but I'm also that dude that I'm gonna look out for you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a person that's gonna be. I ain't gonna if we got something going on, I'm not the ones that's gonna like put it out in the public or try to bash or whatever, try to get their rocks off on shit. No, that ain't me. That ain't my style. I'm like, look, I'm gonna pull you aside. Let's talk.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of like how I am, and you know that. Like I ain't off of that public shit, and but some people, if they feel like, oh, this is a negative, and they want something, be like, fuck it, we just gonna bash this nigga for some reason. Why y'all? What is that gonna do? Nothing.
Yeah, because my first year in the UBA, of course, you see things, you get invited to the pages, and I actually came to one of your tournaments very early. I think it was in Greenville.
Yep.
Oh no, 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 no. The first tournament
Yeah,
I
I had
came
one in
to was
Columbia. I think I had one in
right.
Columbia.
Yep, was the first tour stop. Um, yeah, it was the first tour stop in Columbia. Our
Mhm.
very first tour stop.
Yeah,
Nine
because I had Sarah,
11.
because Sarah did the brackets for me then.
So
Sarah Booth.
that was the first. Yeah, that was the first tournament I went to of yours. And you hear, you know, you hear certain things, and like I said, in the bowling world, it can be very chatty patty ish, but it can
Mhm.
also be very
Informative.
non-informative. I want to say because people
Okay.
will be like, "Oh, the thing that I kept hearing was, oh, Bufu sucks, Bufu's this and Bufu's that," and it was really nothing positive. But then I find out certain history from Bufu that no one told me. For number one of the best teams in the South that people love is DSL, and they actually was formed off of Bufu and was with Bufu team that made it to the finals at Battle Bowl. So I did not get. I still don't get. I never got the understanding of the Leonard hate when it came to your team skill wise, because to me, you were always able to put out a solid product, whether people liked it or not, whether who it was, but you always found some success in the UBA.
So so
So
they
how do
look at
you?
they look at it as this. I went from having a bunch of scratch bowlers to now everybody feel like, oh, now I'm going out and get sandbaggers. So they looking at that now. So they feel like I'm getting all the sandbaggers, or so now it's like if Bufu wins, Bufu's using it through sandbaggers, which
Mhm.
isn't really the case because I can tell you I can tell you right now, my sand, my sand or whatever, my lower average bowlers, I haven't really used much of them at all. I mean,
Now,
and
would
that's
you?
what people fail to realize. They feel like, well, Bufu ain't supposed to win, and the only way they win is because of handicap. No, that's not the
Yeah,
case.
I can't even say that because when we were in the division, especially that first year, um, you were also one of the teams along with Augusta Rain that was at the bottom and climbed your way up to the top and even made the playoffs and was even I think y'all finished what second in the division,
Third,
um, third before the playoffs. Um, and y'all were getting a lot of it done with the scratch pair. You had I think a couple of kids that was fresh out of college.
I
Um,
had that time I had
I know you had the young two-handed kid.
Easton, he's still there.
So like what do you think needs to happen to get the Bufu name back to where it used to be? Or is it one of those situations where winning cures all?
Everybody knows winning cures all, but it's a commitment level. You got to
Now,
have that commitment level.
now I think I'm asking you as an owner of the team.
Yep. I mean, I'm just being real. Winning cures all. I don't care how you look at it because I could tell, like, my problem is we aren't at the top. I'm very critical of my team. I'm the most unbiased person that you're gonna find. But if I really want to keep this a buck right now, My problem with my team is the mentality. We don't have that. We It's kind of like we want to come in and all right, let's do this. So our first two stops of the year, we had Complete Anarchy and Savages.
First
Now,
gotcha.
first
Great
stop,
teams.
two great teams.
Two great
Complete
teams.
Anarchy just went to Battle Bowl last year.
Just went to Battle Bowl last year.
Just went to Battle Bowl. So, and this is the issue I kind of have because people feel that Anarchy they lost a tad step because of Darnell and Sam. Then you got Danny Debkowski.
They're on Critical Role now.
Yeah, they're all on Critical Role.
A lot of the members that was on Critical Role was on that Battle Bowl team last year.
Josh Jackson, although he has a torn ACL, he's not bowling. So, and Sunday was the first stop I seen him. So,
and let's say this too, because I had posted something in the Southeast group. Josh Jackson, Darnell Logan, arguably two of the best hype men in the South, on the same team at this time.
Yep.
Who can also hold the rock.
So I just think Anarchy's problem is almost the same as similar to mine. They haven't really stacked it. They haven't really truly stacked the decks. And I think that's us and that's Savages as well. But we beat Anarchy in Anchor Lanes where basically majority of their team bowl out of.
Let me also ask you this then, because you mentioned those three: Bufu, Complete Anarchy, Savages. Let me ask you a tough question. Which one of y'all misses the playoffs?
Being as 3 spots, this is a trick question. And I'm gonna tell you why. I think the team, being that we are 6, 7, and 8 right now, I think we have to win us and Savages. We have to win the most. I think my team have to win the most right now because we have the gatekeepers and we've already bowled twice and we lost to them twice. And we lost the gatekeepers twice.
Look like right now.
The 2 times I bowled gatekeepers, my lineups were shitty. And we bowled in Rock Hill at a house that I know my team isn't comfortable with. I know that. So this lineup is important because I told my team we win 30 points out every stop, we gonna win the district.
Because right now, y'all, what is it? Y'all are 42 points away from first.
Yep.
You're 42 points away from first.
Yep.
You're about 30 points out of third.
Yeah, we win 30. We win 30. We'll at least jump 5th. That's fine. I ain't gotta make no big move because so after this stop, as you see up there, after this stop, we got Body Snatchers.
Who does Complete Anarchy have?
Complete Anarchy has Savages this stop.
Okay, so Savages and Complete Anarchy. So I can tell you, looking at the standings, one of you guys or 2 of you guys are missing the playoffs. So I ask you again, which one of the 3 teams do not make the playoffs?
I'm not gonna say my team. I would probably say
Looking at y'all standings.
I could say Anarchy. And I'm gonna give you the keys. If Anarchy do not beat Savages, now they got two upsides. The two upsides is
So
they get the bowl.
okay, you cut out. You said Savages what?
The two upsides are if Savages beat Anarchy again, the upside for Anarchy is they got to bowl Crucial Conflict and Body Snatchers again. So with our random draws, Complete Anarchy caught the bottom teams. But they also need to take 36 plus from these bottom teams.
I mean, it looks possible because they took. It looks like they got 2 wins with 30, and it looks like they face Crucial Conflict.
They both Crucial Conflict stopped 3. I remember that.
Right, and then it looks like the Gatekeepers looks like the Gatekeepers
Anarchy.
They took 30 from. Which one was it?
Was that?
And stop 2. Who do they have? The Savages or Gatekeepers?
They had Gatekeepers. Savages had Rampage. Stop 2. No, stop. No, never mind. Stop 2. Stop 2. No, Savages had me stop 2.
Right. Because y'all beat them 30-10.
Yep.
So, I mean, with a 30-10 win against the Gatekeepers, Savages does prove that they can beat a top team. I mean, Complete Anarchy.
The problem with everybody feels, and I've heard these conversations and stuff, people still feel Savages aren't that good.
Are that good or aren't that good?
They aren't. Because they feel that the better bowlers went to high caliber. I'm gonna say this. Savages are still good. That team, like, that's one of the teams I don't want to face because
looking at them at the brawl, they look good. They look like they added a couple of pieces.
No, they didn't add no pieces. They didn't add no pieces.
Well, I've never seen the guys before that they had on the scratch pier.
Chris Moore? She.
And then not only that, I mean, granted, it wasn't Greenville, a spot where they are comfortable at, but
some of the same people bought tour stop.
But
some of them same people bought tour stop Sunday.
Where your tour stop was at Greenville?
Tour stop was at Royal Z.
Oh, Royals. Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean the Savages, they're a team. So if you had to pick somebody, it sounds like you're picking Complete Anarchy.
I'm picking Anarchy. Because Anarchy, if you look at Anarchy's lineups, they haven't been. It's like they're similar to mine. There's not really that much firepower. My problem is my team ain't gonna wake up until if we're at the top. Then yeah, everybody, you know how everybody want to come around like it's a fucking powwow. Yeah, we at the top now. Now fuck that. I've already had that conversation with my team this week. I've said I don't give a fuck. Y'all hate me or love me. I don't give a fuck. Now, I feel like this. If you haven't been there for the struggle, but then you be like, oh, well, we at the top now. Nah, fuck that.
I feel like every UBA owner has said, like it or not. Like we had to make those tough decisions. Like every UBA owner made a comment that started with, y'all not gonna like this, or like it or not, this is what, like, why do you think we have to have those conversations with our team?
Truth hurts sometimes, man. Truth hurts. Like this is what I told my team this. I said, when you don't communicate, when you don't do, I'll just say the basic shit. If you can't do the basic simple shit,
What is
and
the
then you gotta
basics?
go, then if you don't do none of that shit, guess what happens? This is the
Like
results that you get.
what's the basics? Being informed, keeping communication, responding to whatever
Keep
message board y'all
Be
use,
engaged. Be
being
engaged.
engaged.
I tell my team to
I
be
talked about that on the
engaged.
first show, being engaged. Now let me ask you something. So my team don't think I'm crazy. How long does it take let's say a week? How long does it take to be engaged to know what's going on?
I mean, you need a couple weeks. You know what I'm saying? Like I try to have my lineups out within a couple of the stop
No.
because
When
you
I'm
got.
saying being engaged, I mean like knowing what's going on in the UBA,
I mean, at
reading.
least know what goes on with the team.
Right. That's what I'm saying. How long do you think that takes? Like if I was part of your team and I was to pick up my phone and let's say, all right, I'm engaged. Let me find out what's going on. How long do you think that process takes?
Should take no more than 5-10 minutes.
Exactly.
I tell my team this is. I'll say this. Like I tell my team, like whenever you join the team, at least look at the chat.
Mm-hmm.
You can keep it muted because I know if you at work, you don't want that shit be going off. I get it.
Or even sleep. Because as
Right,
you can tell, I'm a night owl.
right. But at least look at the fucking chat. That's kind of like what I team. Like
It look like your phone is stuck in the overbite. Look like you about to
it's
you a
trash right now. All right.
freaking piranha.
Yeah. I tell my team this, and they know it fucking early that like why we dealing with this? Now's your phone.
We can hear you.
All right. I think like I'll use the brawl for a second. You know, I'll use this weekend for an example. So, we had tour stop and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I make it where you got to pay for your tour stop by Wednesday. I mean, by Thursday of the tour stop.
Yep, we used to do
Be-
that.
because I don't want to be chasing money. I don't want to be wait to I'm not going to call names because I'm not going to put them all out there.
Yeah, no need to do that. But I
No,
think
no, no.
basically what you're
I'm
saying
not
is,
going to go that. I'm not going to go that far. That's not me.
well, yeah, and
But
I think also too is if you pay your money, you're
I don't
you're
want to.
in
I
advance,
mean,
you're less
to
likely
me,
to cancel.
it's not even that. To me, I hate being fucking embarrassed when Nick Smith goes on the damn microphone or Christine and all them say, Bufu haven't paid their tour stop dues.
Yeah.
Why Bufu haven't paid their tour stop dues? You know why? Because I got to wait for 2-3 motherfuckers I say be there at 12:15 and they want to wait to 12:50 to fucking show up. Why?
Right. Right.
Like that shit irks me because guess what? Technically, your team can't practice until that money's paid. So guess what you're doing? You're holding everybody up. So.
Yep.
And sometimes you got to go back and look at the shit. Like you put me in bad positions. I hate when you put me in a badass spot. Like don't. This is the reason I said you got to have trust. And
preaching right now, brother.
You got to have that trust. And I told my team, I said, right now, because of your behaviors and the position that I said, do you want to know why we in sixth place? I want you to look at your surroundings and I want you to see the behaviors and I want you to pay attention to the behaviors of why you are a sixth place team.
Mm-hmm.
You
Do
are
you
what
think?
you are.
Do you think a lot of, well, not do you? I think we can say. Could you agree that a lot of non-owners don't realize how much responsibility we have on our plate to prepare our team to bowl and be
Yes,
successful?
but but to be honest with you, and I experienced this even my first year, even when I had the Atlanta Bulls like your Tyrone and all them. And I'm not gonna knock it because I don't want nobody to say that I'm being a dick. But what I had with the guys from Atlanta is the same thing I got going on, mainly like the Charleston Bulls off my team. Because I have a lot of Charleston Bulls. And when you got that local tournament, and I've said this many times, even through UBA dialogues, a lot of teams ain't going to give up that tournament money. They want that now money. They don't want that pay me in 6 months. Fuck that. They're not gonna want that. They want to get paid now and then on the spot. They rather take their chance on a tournament.
Now let me ask you this, because that's a very good point, because a lot of tournament bowlers that do bowl UBA, they do choose to bowl tournaments over UBA. But let
Mhm.
me you mentioned something earlier with being real with yourself. How many tournament bowlers do you see go away from the tour stop that don't have what it takes to even be a tournament bowler?
I've seen a
And
couple.
this isn't knocking anybody, but it's just a lot of people who never even cashed in a tournament be talking about money. And I think what they do is they regurgitate the better bowlers, and but they regurgitate the information, but they never regurgitate the actions of said bowler, that do tournament bowling. Because it's to me, um, on my team, I probably have a handful of actual tournament bowlers that I know if they say, "Oh, I'm going to go bowl a tournament," then they're coming back with money. Rather, where you may have that 180 bowler
I mean,
that's like, "Oh, I'm going to
like
this
last
tournament,"
year.
and you never see him.
So last year, there's a tour stop that my team didn't show up at. So I had a few people on my team that had to deal with their kids' graduations. I mean, they can't knock that. That's their child. I had one person that was in a golf tournament that he signed up for way before he joined my team. Then I had some of the bowlers that wanting to go bowl the 8 gamer. And then I had some bowlers that really didn't really bowl the 8 gamer like that. And so they wanting to bowl. And I'm like I got into it with a person that was in the team. He said that he got mad at me and he felt that um no matter what, the team is still responsible
For that money.
for that tour stop fee. So what I did, I made the team pay for it. I didn't take no money out my team account. I made the team pay for it. A couple people didn't like the way I did it, but guess what? Why I did it? I said, I'm not getting suspended because of y'all asses. But at the same time, guess what? it puts you in jeopardy. So guess what? If you think that that tour stop don't get paid and you want to go bail and you feel that you shouldn't pay for it and you want to go release yourself, I tell you what, I will be quick to call fucking Jason Hale real quick. I'm like, hey, I said, this is what's going on with my team. You think, and I'm gonna tell Hale, just because a lot of y'all motherfuckers, y'all see Jason Hill, how everybody know how he is. He's gonna say his piece. I'm gonna tell you this. Hale's still one of the realest people to talk to off the lanes. Talk to him. He's like, say what you want about him. But I still talk to Jason. And we don't see eye to eye on a lot of shit. But 9 times out of 10, he's right on some things. I'm gonna pick his brain. That's just because I'm gonna pick his brain. But I'm gonna say, hey, this person left my team because XYZ. Oh, is that the case? He'll stop that shit real quick.
You think he was right about this?
I never went to him about this. Oh, do I think he's right about the? You think about the rankings?
You think he was right about this?
A good portion of it. I ain't gonna say all of it. A good portion.
I still find it flawed that Critical Role is not on this list, sitting at second in the division.
Man, you gotta think some of these easy ass houses, though, man.
I'm just talking. I only can speak for the Deep South.
Right. I think a lot of it is when you look at those point totals. I think because y'all district is less too.
But I don't. To me, point totals don't equal, as we've already know. Point total don't equal the wins all the time.
No. Now, do I think Critical Role could be some of these teams off the list? Oh, fuck yeah.
Well, I'm not even okay. Let me give my personal opinion. My personal opinion: Southern Asylum shouldn't be on this list. And there's no knock to them. I've seen them be placed on this list several times, and I've disagreed with it. And I don't understand it.
And where are they now? Where are they now?
Southern Asylum is 18th.
No. I'm talking about district-wise.
Oh, district-wise, Southern Asylum is there you go. They're 5th. Top 3 make the playoffs, and they're 5th.
Oh, okay. All right. So
and then you got
hold on. Pause for a second. Mm-hmm. So Southern Asylum's up there, but I'm gonna ask you this: did they beat High Caliber and did they beat y'all?
They did not beat us.
Okay.
Let me check to see if they beat.
If they beat High Caliber,
I don't even understand. Being honest with you, I'm not understanding why High Caliber. To me, the only 2 teams from our district that should be on this list is DSL and Critical Role.
Mm-hmm.
They've been the most consistent all season. We don't deserve to be on the list because of our slow start. I understand that. High Caliber probably could have been on the list early on, but they're downward slope.
High Caliber's a roller coaster right now.
Yeah, pretty much.
They are. I'm not gonna.
No, I definitely agree with that statement.
High Caliber's a roller coaster. Southern Asylum.
Southern Asylum shouldn't be on them. They had a 3-game losing streak. I don't get how they're on this list at all.
Shit. Well, they got more points than we do.
Somebody on that team should definitely has a lot of cool points with Hale. I'm joking, but But the only impressive win that High Caliber had was in Full Throttle against Full Throttle, and that was only impressive because it was at their house, and they did beat them pretty handedly. It looks
Hold up,
like
hold
you
up.
said
You said
that. Oh,
you
Southern.
came in and out. I'm sorry.
I said Southern Asylum. Full Throttle. They beat Full Throttle twice. Once in their home house.
Oh, Southern Asylum.
No, High Caliber. They beat Full Throttle in Full Throttle's home house pretty convincingly.
Okay, that was at
Um,
Forest Park. Okay,
yeah, to me that was their most impressive win. Granted, they did beat Full Throttle twice.
because
Um,
High Caliber bought DSL already, right? High Caliber
I'm not,
bought DSL already, right?
I'm not sure if they met yet,
Who's who's high?
but
Okay,
I'm trying
who's
to
High
see it.
Caliber? Who's high? Has High Caliber bought DSL?
I'm looking at that now. I don't see it.
I don't think High Caliber bought any of the top two teams. I know they bowled y'all, yes, but
Yeah,
I'm talking
I don't
about,
think so either.
I'm talking about Critical Role and DSL. Have they bowled them?
No, and Southern Asylum lost to High Caliber 32-8 in the third tour stop. So I'm definitely not. I definitely don't understand how they're in this. And like I said earlier, this is just talk.
Right,
I am not the end all be all. I know he has a system, but this is just talk for
right.
this list right here. The top 25 in the South. So yeah, High Caliber played Critical Role the first tour stop, and they lost 36-4.
Yeah.
So I just like I said, I don't get it. I'm not understanding how those two teams, how High Caliber is up here, and I'm not understanding how Full Throttle, because now what it looks like is it looks like we have some some biasness because it
Mhm.
just doesn't make no sense. Like it looks like Critical Role is getting some hate, um, some undeserved hate.
How far? What was the numbers that they dropped?
Hold on, I'm trying to see. 1 second. Let me see. They are
'Cause
two.
I think they barely above me.
Hold on, one quick second. 2-3, 2-3, 2-3. Damn. So High Caliber don't face DSL until Delk.
See, I think DS. Well, I think y'all district is probably, they probably deem that as probably one of the weaker districts based off
Um,
based off point totals.
and I can understand it, but
I
it's.
mean, you look at my district. My district got 5 teams up there, and
I
if
mean,
you
but if you look at our district from last year, we didn't have that high of a point total neither. But if you look at
Deep South was one of those districts that the parity is.
well, I'm talking about
Here's
last year, not
here's
last year, not the first year.
right. But here's the thing,
First
though.
year we did because
There was, I think, between our districts, there's more parity. When you go look at the capital, or you look at the triad, or you throw the fucking Sand Hills, those districts aren't parity. Like, I go to Sand Hills, and your top teams is basically Beast Squad and High Octane. Ain't nobody else. You know, like the last 2 years, that synergy was in that district. And most people felt going to run through that district. And guess what? They ain't run through that district.
Man, call a spade, man.
Synergy did not make the playoffs.
Hold on. Call a spade a spade. The
No,
reason
I mean,
why
and I'm not going to knock Synergy because I love those guys over there. But Synergy didn't make the playoffs when they was in the standings.
to look at
They
the
were in
deep
stands for
south.
2 years.
Hold on. To look at the deep south and
Mhm.
say we have a weak division, but yet we don't have no events out here. It's a reason for that. Like
Yeah.
let's stop. Like don't get this twisted. This is not your cookie cutter show.
It's just like
Let's cut
this.
the bullshit.
Right. You know, like
Let's
last
keep
year.
it. Hold on. Let's keep a spade a spade. We have tougher houses down here. Call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
The reason why our scores was low is because we have tougher houses out here. They do not have the caliber of houses that we have. They don't have to go through the transition that we have to go through. We're much better caliber bowlers because we have to go through more than especially than I've been to the Triad. I've been to those houses. I've been to Royal Z. We don't have houses like that out here.
The thing
you
about
got a bowl when you come down here. That's why I think they don't have no events down here because you don't want to compete. Let's keep it a buck. Let's stop pussyfooting around.
well,
Like, you're not gonna act like the Deep South don't have some of the best bowlers.
I think folks know that, but then,
But
like I
nobody's
said,
saying that.
right. But the problem is, and I think the district itself is just so much parity. Like, look at our district. Wasted Potential's in first place. Again, not knocking them, but Wasted Potential's big victory has probably been Gatekeepers.
Let's keep it a buck, though. Have you seen Wasted Potential do this before?
Yeah. I mean, they was right there last year.
And then what happened?
Lost on the last day.
All right, then. So we haven't seen them win or be up there like that. But why are they up there now?
They doing what they supposed to do. They bought the crucial conflicts and the body snatchers. They did what they supposed to do. They took 36 and 38 points.
Yes, okay. They did what they were supposed to do. But another thing is they don't got to come through here no more. They don't got to come through us no more.
I mean, pull up our thing real quick.
I got it up. Hold on. Yeah, they don't have to go through us no more.
So blow at least all right.
For some reason when I blow it up, I can't. Oops.
That's
good?
fine. That's fine. So Wasted Potential lost their first 2 stops.
And then
they lost
okay. Let me ask you this. They lost their first 2. Where was the first 2 at?
They lost the first one was at Anchor. They both Savages. They lost 22-18.
Okay, they lost in somebody else's backyard in an easy house. Okay.
And
the second stop.
They bowled Rampage. So they already bowled Rampage.
Where?
Anderson.
Another easy house. Hold on. You said Anderson and where? Anchor?
Anchor.
Anderson and Anchor.
Yep.
And then
the next Stops they bowled body snatchers.
Hold on.
So
What was your next stops though? Where was stop 3 at?
Rock Hill, they bowled body snatchers.
Okay, which is a house similar to out here.
Savannah was stop 4 in their
Another
home
difficult
house.
house. They got 30 points in.
They bowled Augusta Rain,
Where?
Savannah.
Okay, where was stop 5 at?
Stop 5 was North Augusta, and they beat Shot Show. Shot Show
Uh,
they put out a good lineup. So
North Augusta is not a hard house, but and then where was the last stop at? Greenville.
Royals E.
So my point is, once they lost at those easy houses where everybody shoots, the next couple of houses aren't houses where you could just they're a little bit more difficult houses. So they got their training from the deep south. They had to come through here.
Well, wasted
Like we're not
potential.
like we need to stop. Like we need to stop fronting like Atlanta ain't a big deal. Like when
Hold
it
up.
comes to this bullish.
You may tell you what you want to know who I got right after the body snatchers.
Who?
We got Augusta Rain, Wasted Potential, Augusta Rain, Shot Show.
Augusta Rain, Wasted Potential, and then Shot Show.
Augusta Rain, then Shot Show.
So y'all got your next 3 is against the top 4 opponents in the division.
Pretty much. After Gatekeepers and Body Snatchers.
Yeah, I think a lot of teams and I'm not saying this as like they're doing this purposely, and I'm not saying this because like I don't want to make it seem like I know this is what's going on, because I don't. I'm just assuming, and I'm just putting on a hat, fighting for my district. Let me say that when I make this next comment. But it does seem like they know down here is serious, and they purposely try to avoid it. Like you can't they say, oh, we gave y'all Greenville, that's still a 2-hour drive.
Clyde, here's the thing, and I told Clyde, and I made that little post on that little other page. I said, who all trying to both stay in your lane, blah, blah, blah. And Clyde was like, nobody. I had to tell Clyde, and I'll say it publicly. I'm like, Clyde, like, don't be like that, because I'm going to say this. I said it to a chick from Charlotte. I said, it's the time that we need to be supporting our district, something supporting, because guess what? The UBA is going to see that shit, and they be like, why are we going to come here?
Right. No, I definitely agree with that. And I think me and you were talking before, and you made a comment saying every division should have a event, and it should change houses each year.
Yeah. I think I argued with Peniel about this yesterday, because Peniel's like, stay in your lane is not a good event, but team relay is. I'm sorry. I think team relay is a fucking joke. Team relay is trash. Yeah, you could get 4 bowlers and win it, blah, 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 blah. I'm sorry.
Hold up,
I just think the event's trash.
So many events. What's the format?
So you could get 3 to 6 bowlers. The first round is 3 handicap bowlers. The next round is 1 scratch bowler, 1 handicap bowler.
Okay. That was the one that was in Greensboro.
Yeah. I'm like this. I'd rather bowl stay in your lane, because guess what? You got to bowl with everybody that's from a certain average.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah,
still
we
the same
did.
fucking point format.
Yeah, we did stay in your lane. Well, I feel like I did like multiple squads. It was doubles, wasn't it? It was singles.
No, that's team relay. That's team relay. But
I
I
feel like
will
I
tell
did.
y'all this though. Oh,
What
and I'm
was
sure y'all. Oh, hold up. Let me do my plugs real quick.
hold on, real quick question. What was in Rock Hill last year, 2 years ago?
The mixer.
That was no.
Yeah,
Remember
it
I
was.
saw you,
Yeah, it was
Mike
at the
Cook.
mixer. Yeah, because I brought this chick I was fucking around with. Yeah, it was the mixer.
No, you came by yourself.
No, I had Patrick and Ethan when we both trio.
No, because remember you parked right beside me, and I went to dap you up, and you was putting on lotion. I was like, I ain't about to dap you up. You putting on lotion. That was
Yeah,
outside of Rock Hill.
it was the mixer. It was the mixer. Because I showed up later today. I was with my friend April that lived in Rock Hill. I said I was staying at her house. Yeah, I only bought like one event because I bought with the two kids.
Yeah, because I feel like we did. It was like a triples, and then later on they did doubles.
No, it was a trio. Yeah, we did a trios event.
Or was it a trios with doubles option?
They had Unholy early in the day because I remember.
Yeah.
I set Ethan up. I set Ethan McDonald up the ball with Nikki Cole.
Yeah, because we did right. We did Unholy. Right.
Yeah, I didn't come down till like later that day. Like I said, I was busy.
And then there was trios.
Yeah, it was all team events.
Because they did a doubles for him because me and Dana cashed in doubles.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, so that was the mixer?
Yep, it was a mixer.
I don't know why I thought that was stay in your lane. Okay.
No.
Okay.
But still, I mean, at the same time, I just think some of these events, like, Pinnell's like, well, let the good ones stay where they at. I said this. I said you travel with your good events and move your bad events into the good areas. That's the way you can really grow it.
I mean, me personally, I think the bowlers are going to travel.
Unholy's going to sell regardless where the fuck's it at.
Right. That's what I said. The events are going to travel. You got to give these different houses a chance. I think it's unfair.
I think I try Cincinnati a mile, but I think like as a whole, we got all these events, but we need to utilize every house in the district, every district.
Yeah, because you have, I mean, and then talk to your owners. Your owner, like we have a bowling city down here.
Now, I will say this. I think the problem with y'all is I don't think they ain't gonna put nothing in Atlanta. I think that if they did something, it will probably be in Anderson.
And that's what I'm saying. That's still a 2-hour drive. Like what? Why do y'all get to have everything in y'all backyard and we don't? And don't get me wrong, Anderson, it's not a bad drive. Like don't get me wrong, we can drive now. We're still gonna come, but yo, we're in a bowling town down here too. Like we're one of the, just like they have everything in Greensboro. We have like 7 bowling alleys down here. 7 or 8 bowling alleys in this town where we can have. We already know what happens with at Douglasville. We already know the tournaments I was bringing at Conyers. The tournaments before I even got out here that DSL was doing at Lilburn. Like, Anderson, yes, they should have, host an event too. They, that's a nice size center also. Tri-City, I'm sorry, y'all don't get it. Yeah, y'all got 2 lanes, and a bathroom. That's I get if you don't have it at Tri-City. Like you gotta, like
they want to try to have it at least You know,
But you got to think when
even
you have
though
it at Anderson.
even though 32 minimum, but they want a 40-lane house.
Yeah, but even okay, you got Lilburn. It's a 40-lane house,
Right.
and you know the Deep South Bowl that Amanda threw sold out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like it's not like
It's to the point now. We know this. Nobody don't want to fucking travel.
And
Like,
here's another thing: when you have
like
it at Anderson,
anything, like
when you have it at Anderson, you shouldn't have it at Greenville because Anderson, Greenville, Tri-City,
it's all right
Spartanburg,
there.
they're all right there. Like
I
it's
mean,
still in their backyard. Can we host something? Like just throw us a bone. It don't even. I'm not asking for unholy. I'm not asking for. You know what I'm saying? I'm not asking for.
you know, it's just like this. Like Joey Barton and all them, they like everybody was trying to the Virginia team, they were like, let's have unholy at Norfolk because Norfolk can accommodate. Yes, Norfolk
Two
can
houses, yeah.
accommodate. Yes, Norfolk can accommodate. But nobody ain't gonna drive fucking 4 hours. The fucking
Who? Why y'all keep saying that? Like we do it already. Like that's the mind-boggling thing that y'all keep saying.
the problem.
Nobody's gonna do it. But every time
I'm
you
gonna
see
be real. I'm gonna be
DSL,
real with you, Montreal. I'm gonna be real with you, Montreal. I'm gonna be real with you.
teach me something.
I don't see many teams from our districts. I'm gonna use districts plural. That's gonna drive the Norfolk. I don't see it. I can see those triad teams run the Norfolk. I can see the capital teams run the Norfolk. You might have a couple. You might have a few folks here and there when you plug in for like QC, but everybody. But then guess what? You have all the Virginia teams, and you're gonna get those teams that is in Maryland. That's right there. That'll go to fucking Norfolk. You'll get
Right,
them.
but it's the same. It's the same thing as going to Greenville for them. They're not traveling to Greenville then.
No, they're not traveling
Right,
to Greenville.
but hold up. But they still sell out, right?
It'll sell out.
Right. That's my point. Give everybody
It'll
a
sell out.
chance.
It'll sell out. But like I said, why did I say Norfolk? Availability. 60 lanes.
Norfolk is another great area. Norfolk, you have the hotels. You have plenty of fucking hotels out there. You have the beach that is right there. Norfolk even has a beach that people don't even know about. So you don't even have to travel all the way to Virginia Beach. You have the bowling alleys. You have Little Creek, and then you have Indian River, which are not far apart from each other, so you can do multiple houses. Not only that, you have even closer, you have Western Branch, Chesapeake, all right there in the Norfolk with multiple houses. Like it's.
But I mean, and I guess when you look at it, because Mega Bowl's already in Virginia, you know.
Y'all doing a terrible job of hiding things that y'all keep putting in y'all backyards and then saying nobody's going to drive out there. Like it's unfair because
you know what?
my team drove 4 hours, 4.5 hours there and back to the Greensboro event.
Let's start something on the Southeast page. Like having an event in every, like at least try to have something in every district. So it kind of can give everybody a chance to move around. But
you're saying it wrong. You gotta still, even though it's in everyone's district, you still have to move it around. Like have it different places every year in every district. Like for example, if it was in Greenville, which was in y'all district, right?
Well, it depends because we both utilize Greenville.
Okay, let's say Anderson, because that's our district, right?
Yep.
If you have it in Anderson this year, then have it in Conyers next year, or have it in Lilburn next year, and then the following year have it in Greenville, or the following year. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Move it around to each house every different year. And that way it'll be pretty much even, because you have these same guys that are walking around talking about, oh, we're the best team and we win everything. And yeah, we look at y'all in the South, we're like, okay, like you're not going anywhere. Let's face it, even the playoffs is in Penn Station. The playoffs should be in Florida or Texas somewhere. Personal opinion. I know they're not going to do that, but I'm just saying, just to make it even, like, yo, everything is in y'all backyard.
Yeah, but who's really gonna drive to Florida back-to-back weekends?
We do. The bowlers will.
Shit. I'm gonna
we
tell
go
you,
to jams every year in bowl 10
it's like this. Motherfucker was saying, let's go
Joan, tell them we need more events out in
Let-
this area.
they were
Joan,
like,
tell
let's
them.
do this in Vegas. Let's do this in Vegas. Oh, let's have Battle Bowl in Vegas and shit like that. And Ray Smarsh brought up a great point. Why are we gonna do Battle Bowl in Vegas?
But why y'all act like y'all don't bowl nowhere else though? Like y'all act like y'all don't go to the
Like-
military tournament.
like,
Like y'all
here's
don't
the
go to
thing.
nationals
I
and
would,
get y'all ass whooped every year.
and I'm like, and Ray Smarsh brought up a great point a while back. Like, why have Battle Bowl in Vegas?
because it's a mutual area, it's a tourist site.
Here's the problem. But you know the problem you're gonna run into though? If you got a motherfucker that's already bowling nationals, they gotta go, and if they already going like in July, that means they gotta turn around and spend more money for a flight to go back in August.
Gotta prepare.
Yeah, but you talking about spending 2 fucking flights.
They go to Vegas 3 times a year.
Okay, I'm talking about going to Vegas the back months. Not even a
like,
full month.
I'm going to Vegas Tuesday, June, and August. And then in August, I'm going from Vegas to Battle Bowl. Like, yo, like we can make excuses all we want, but what we're not doing is we're not doing trial and error. We're assuming people ain't doing this, and we're assuming people ain't doing this. Now, like I said, maybe Vegas ain't the answer. You know, I get it. You know,
No, Vegas ain't the answer. Not for, some bowlers you got to spend for 2 flights. Now,
now, don't get me wrong. I'm not being insensitive to that, but even let's say like even Battle Bowl shouldn't be in Delaware every fucking year. Especially when we have teams that's in their backyard. That's the part that I'd be
right.
Like St. Louis is not far. Ohio is not far. Like I said, Texas, Florida. Florida flights are cheap,
Right.
Stuff like that. Like we do a crappy job, and like that's the reason why part of me, kind of didn't really feel like Complete Anarchy got a fair shake for real.
I'm be honest with you.
They played a team that was in their backyard.
I mean, no
Complete Anarchy can't take a 3-hour drive to go practice.
A lot of that
you sound far away from the phone.
I couldn't see them beat them, even on that.
You sound real far from the speaker.
Oh, I said that. Even on their best day, I still wouldn't have took Anarchy.
No, don't get me wrong. It was ugly. Like it was
dog shit. It was dog shit ugly.
Oh, it got hard to watch. But
I was there. Shit, what you talking about? It was hard to watch. I was there.
Yeah, I'd have finished
Man,
that.
you know, like Biggie said, it was slow singing, the flower bringing. That's what happened.
Yeah, because after that fifth game, I'd have been like, I'm at fifth frame.
I'm peace. You know, that'd have been it. But then, you know, and that's like what I tell my team. I said we give narratives to teams to talk about us because you guys don't think about it because that jersey you wearing and you bowling tour stop, you bowling events, you are on Bufu. You can say Boo, other people gonna say Bufu suck, Bufu this, but you are that person that's wearing that jersey because you
Yeah.
chose to represent me.
Yeah.
And you are affiliated with that team no matter how you good, bad, or indifferent.
Yeah. And that's what I said, prior to you coming on. When you're bowling for a team, you're I put a standard out for the outsiders. Um, and that standard is to be great. Um, and being great doesn't necessarily always mean you're going to get the results you want, but it's never quitting, never having excuses, and you got a bowl to beat us.
Right.
That's our standard, and that's what I tell everybody. Like, man, I get on my team so much, and they get sick of me saying it to the point where we got in arguments about stop being negative all the fucking time. If you and then this year I'm not even playing with you. Like if you want to continuously being negative, then you can't be around the team because that's not what we're trying to build. That's not what's going to get us to that next level. You know what I mean? We have to be able to first do it up here. Because if you don't do it up here first, it ain't gonna translate on the lanes.
Right.
And like you said, when you representing that jersey, especially the outsiders, the way I run my mouth, pause, like people want to kill us. So I already know we're getting everybody's best lineup as it is. So I have to tell my team, we have to be the best. Like we have to compete. We have to put that best forward. All those excuses about, oh, I don't like bowling with this and I don't like bowling with your thing. You can't help what another team puts on the lanes against you. I don't like bowling against people who bowl down and in or swing the whole lanes. Well, what if you bowling against Bufu and they got a team that's swinging the whole lanes? What you gonna do? Like, excuses don't get you nowhere. And that's what I build on the outside is unity and that, so I definitely agree with you when you say you're a representative of the team. And I don't know if you was able to catch the first show, but I've talked about, what it takes, to run a UBA team or to be on a UBA team. And part of that is being real with yourself, being real about your game, knowing respecting the competition, because we already know in Battle Bowl, in UBA, everybody could bowl, everybody can strike. That ain't no secret. You done laid back there, you sleep. This man done went to sleep. But yeah, you got to be mentally strong in bowling. Bowling is a team sport, but it is also a sport where it's very lonely at times, because when you can't figure it out, unless you're bowling with somebody who really, really knows your game, you're in there by yourself and you just hoping on a whim. And to be prepared for bowl, I always suggest if you bowl UBA, put somebody in the lineup. I'm sorry, when they throw these tournaments, go out there, go out there to these tournaments that they have before. Get familiar with the lanes. Like if there's a house that my team or I've never bowled at, I'm there at that tournament on Saturday if they're throwing one because I need to see what these lanes are like. And then I report back to the team of what I think the lanes are. But but yeah, in conclusion, one thing I want to say is I don't know if Reggie is still up here, but I seen a post that shout out to Hitman Holler from shout out to Hitman Holler from Wildin' Out. A lot of people don't know. First of all, that brother is a talented, good brother. I applaud everything he's doing out here in the community. Um, every time I see him, he's just elevating from the first time I've met him all the way up to now. A lot of people if you don't know, he started in the battle rap scene. And in the battle rap scene, he started his own kind of like reality show. And it was called Bags and Bodies, which was a very, very entertaining. If you're into battle rap, like I am very, very involved. I have family that battle raps. I've been to the events. If you look at some of the old footage, you can see me on stage. I'm very cool with a lot of the battle rappers. They are very, 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 very approachable people who are just regular people, just like you and me. But shout out to Hitman Holler. As I see, he's about to do the Bowling and Bodies reality show. I'm very excited and I can't wait to see what that is. I just love when people do stuff and they're bringing awareness to the sport. So shout out to Hitman Holler for Bags and Body. I mean, Bowling and Bodies, I think is what it's being called. But I think that is so dope that he's doing something to elevate the sport. Because I know he in this last year or two, he's really taking his game to the next level and being more serious into the sport. So I applaud you. He's another one that I hope takes advantage and starts getting into tournaments so you can really see the value of bowling, how much you can do out here. And hopefully, we can start getting some familiar faces on TV or some faces that look like us. So shout out to Hitman Holler. I'm really excited to see what the Bags and Bodies, Bowling and Bodies, I think it's called, or Bowling and Bags reality show. I apologize if I'm not saying the name right, but I pray that does well, and I know it will. If you need anybody to do coverage on it, dog, let me know. I got you. I'm here for it. But I hope that I can find out when you're scheduling to tape and film, and I would love to be there, just a fly on the wall, just so I can see it happen. But I love to see stuff like that with the sport as the sport grows. But I'm about to wrap this thing up. I want to say thank you for those that have been watching on YouTube. You can rewatch this on YouTube. You can also watch it live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. And I'm gonna ask a lot for your help. I need 10,000 TikTok followers so I can start streaming like this on TikTok. Right now I'm halfway there. I got 5,100. So I want to do a push for the outside so I can reach the masses and out of towners so we can start having out of town guests, PBA guests. The only way I'm able to do that is by your support, by liking and subscribing. Like I said, I'm going to have the Facebook page probably done this weekend. I want to start, and the Facebook page is going to have a schedule. It's going to be more of a centralized location with all of this, where you can tell your friends to share it and stuff. We'll also talk about other things like sports, life in general, things like that. I do want to close out with a question. Let me see if I can find it. What is his name? Had a post up. What is his name? Man. Let me see if I can find it because I think it was. Let me see. Please, please, please let me find it. But like I said, tomorrow, if you're in the Georgia area, they do have Battle of the Sexes tomorrow, followed by mixed doubles, which I think mixed doubles is I think that is first come, first serve, if I'm not mistaken. And then you also have the Georgia All Stars Sunday morning at Forest Park, and then you have Todd's tournament, Todd Memorial Tournament at Douglasville. And here it is. I found the question that I was looking for, and we could close off of this because I think this is so funny. And I'm going to start doing more stuff like this just to kind of lighten the mood. But I want to know which one, because I had to think about this. So I want to ask y'all, which one? Which one y'all doing? For the spaghetti? Are y'all mixing it or are you putting it in? What are y'all doing? Let me know. Jacob said he doing it right. You definitely mixing it. I feel you. I'm mixing it too. I don't know why people do it. I mean, it doesn't bother me either way, but I'm definitely mixing. I need everything in there because I ain't washing all them dishes. And I ain't putting all that in my refrigerator. But I know a lot of people said they don't like it mixed. I said on the comments they said they don't like it mixed because they don't like it mixed because it dries out. But shoot, that's the way Mama made it. Mama always made it mixed. But been a couple of people's houses where they don't mix the spaghetti, and it do get a little weird because the noodles dry out. But I'm going with the mix. Mix mine all in the same pot. Get all them juices together. Let me see if I can find another one, the other one that I had. Let me see. Okay. Last one. Last one of the night, and then we're going. Okay, last one. What y'all doing? Sugar or salt in your grits? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I know my ex, she used to have to make my grits separate because they like salt. But I'm from the city. We like sugar. Yep, I put cheese in mine. Jacob said he put salt and cheese. But Jacob's from the South. See, I'm from the city. I'm from up north. We when I came to the South, they got us to eat grits by putting sugar in it. That's what they did. We had we had the sugar in it. So uh it's hard for me to eat salt, grits with the salt in it. That's tough. That's tough. But the sugar and cheese, well, don't make it no shrimp grit. Oh man, shrimp and grit. Oh man, come on now. But all right, y'all. This has been another episode of the Outside. I'm trying to think of my schedule. We'll try to come up here again tomorrow, or Sunday. Now Sunday is gonna be an extremely long day. Just thought about that. Damn. Sunday gonna be a long day. I think I am going to bowl in the I'm gonna bowl the All-Star qualifier. And then I have to bowl Austell that night. So, but I may come up here Monday after league. Might be the next one. I might try to come tomorrow. But definitely, I think Leonard's back.
I said, yeah, tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. I'm because I got to drive to Williamsburg, and that's a 4.5, almost 5-hour drive.
What you got tomorrow?
I got Federation on Sunday.
Oh, Federation. For those people that don't know about Federation, tell them about the Federation format. Well, first, before you tell them that, salt or sugar?
Salt.
Yeah, you like the savory grits.
Nah, I want a little bit of salt. I want a lot of cheese.
Oh, yeah. Cheese goes in there without a question.
Yeah.
Without a question. All right, so what's the Federation format?
You bowl 3 regular team games, and then you bowl 3 Baker games.
Okay. So you got a Federation on Wednesday. Yeah, so yeah.
I got a 4.5, 5-hour drive home. So by the time I get home Sunday, I'm not even gonna watch a damn late game Sunday night. I'm gonna be in the fucking bed.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Who you got tomorrow?
I like Cleveland tomorrow.
Yeah, I think a lot of people's big on Cleveland.
And I like Cleveland, and I had said I kind of like is KC in Miami?
I think. Let me pull it up.
Yeah, I like KC. I like KC tomorrow. Miami is really not playing that great.
No, they ain't got no damn defense.
Miami suspect. Kansas ain't got shit, but I'll take Kansas City at this point.
City ain't either.
I tell you what, I won't be surprised if Pittsburgh beat Buffalo.
That's a Sunday game.
I won't be surprised if Pittsburgh beat Buffalo.
Okay, so let's run it down real quick. You got the Browns, Texans. Who you said? Browns. Dolphins, Chiefs. You got the Chiefs. And it's supposed to be a record-setting low temperature game.
Where?
In Kansas City.
Kansas City.
Yeah, they said the temperature is supposed to be dangerously low out there tomorrow.
Guess what? Kansas City.
Sunday. Tomorrow, I mean, yeah, huh?
Kansas City.
Yeah. So who you got? Steelers or the Bills?
I like Pittsburgh. Buffalo is not. They haven't really playing. Yeah, they came back against Miami, but Miami is not that great. So y'all can miss me on that one.
All right, you got Sunday's games. Packers and Cowboys.
Dallas over Green Bay.
I think Dallas is going to beat the shit out of Green Bay just because of the catch.
Yep.
just because of the catch. But I will say this: I do love Jordan Love. I like Jordan Love a lot.
Who we gonna throw the ball to?
No, I agree with you, but I like him a lot. I like him. I
That's
like his
saying Jordan
game.
Love ain't really got nobody to throw the ball to.
No, I agree, but I like his game. I think they have a good quarterback for the future.
Yeah,
Like you said, they definitely need to put some receivers and some.
and I
line.
like Detroit over the Rams,
I like that too.
and I know a lot of
Bucks.
people like Tampa Bay over. I like Philly.
That game to me that's a game of, how can I put this? That's going to be the what you call it? Not the sleeper, but that's going to be the game that's going to fuck up somebody's money.
Yeah.
Somebody parlay going to get fucked up for that game.
Yep.
I think a lot of the other games are pretty much cut and dry, but I think this is the game where it's going to be a coin flip.
Oh yeah.
The Eagles and the Bucks, because the Bucks got hot at the right time. The Eagles, will they experience be like, okay, let's turn it on? But we already know how dangerous that could be with a turn on, turn off team, So it's going to be interesting though. But all right, y'all. That concludes the show. We've had a great one. I agree with you, Jacob. I think the Ravens is my pick for the Super Bowl also.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Jacob, on that one. But y'all have a great night. We will conclude. Like I said, I'll probably try to come back up here Monday. Appreciate our guest Leonard for dropping on and dropping some knowledge on some UBA history, clearing some things up. I still think Critical Role should be in that top 3. I mean, in that top 25. I definitely think High Caliber and Southern and Silent should not. I do believe that there only should be 2 teams right now in the Deep South that should be in the top 25. But that is no one's fault but our own. But yeah, I just don't get, you just snapped a 3-game winning streak and then you go up that high in the rankings. Like that doesn't make sense to me. But I mean like it doesn't make sense. And then you got High Caliber sitting in there for what? They haven't done anything but prove, that they cannot. I'm not trying to diss them, but I'm just trying to figure out who they beat this year.
Right.
And if I'm not mistaken, the only ones they beat was Full Throttle and Top Shelf, if I'm not mistaken.
Teams that's not.
Yeah, I don't. They should not be in that conversation. A top 25, like how do you make a top 25 when you're not even in the playoffs in your district if it ended?
Right.
That part doesn't make sense to me. But then also, if you look at, and I know I said I was ending, but let me show y'all this last thing as far as our district. Yeah, I'm trying to.
Damn, you got Casey Pike up here now.
Huh?
Yeah, Dan Casey Pike up here now.
Yeah, Casey. We need some answers. We're talking about High Caliber. How they made the 25 of the 25 list. I said, me personally, I think only DSL and Critical Role should be on that list. But I'm trying to understand how Critical Role is not on that list. So we were going through it. I see High Caliber. This was the first stop. They lost to Critical Role. I don't have the second stop numbers. The third stop, they beat Southern Asylum. Fourth stop, High Caliber beat Full Throttle, like we said before. They beat Full Throttle again. They caught him at the turn. They lost to Southern Asylum. And this is my doorknob that came off of my car. Came smooth off. But yeah, I don't get it. I'm not understanding how. And then if you look at our standings, where is it at? Here's our standings right here. I don't see how Critical Role is not in that top 5. I am not understanding that. I mean, granted, it's still a tight race in our division. Very, very tight. But it's hard. It's hard for me. I'm not understanding that list. Yeah, I'm not understanding that. What up, Mel? Yeah, I don't get it. Cause Southern Asylum shouldn't even be on this list at all. Yeah, 3-game losing streak. Where they lost to us when we were 7th. We were second from last, and they took a bad loss to us. I don't get it. So, but all right, y'all. Y'all have a great night.
All right.
Thank y'all for tuning in. Like I said, we'll probably be back up here. I'll try again for tomorrow. I can see. Oh, this is what I wanted to show. Before I got out of here, we didn't really have that much time, but oh man, I went too far. Hold on 1 second. Oh, here we go. I just found it. All right, Leonard, what you think about this list that came out? Did you get a chance to take a look at this list?
I'm blocked from Amanda Stone.
Oh wow! So
yeah, me and Amanda.
It says here are the top 10 averages for all the Southeast with a minimum of 12 games. I have also included all the teams within 5 pins of their entering average. Only 2 teams are plus. Highly doubt any teams will finish plus for the season because I update the averages when bowlers use high ones. So according to this, like she said, there's only 2 teams that was plus, and it wasn't plus by much. We had a plus 2.2 and a plus 0.96. And disorderly conduct was number 1 in that department, and Hitman was number 2. Now, here's one thing where I can say I can put high caliber on that list, but here's an interesting part. On this list, there's no critical role. But guess who's on this list? You know who's on this list? Top Shelf Stunners. Top Shelf Stunners is a top 10 team when it comes to averages. Think about that. So as I said, it doesn't always equate to wins, but I remember what happened with Leonard. But it does give and leave for interesting conversations. It does leave for interesting conversations. And I think with the one thing that Jason Hale and Dre and also I think the conversation for these top 25 and top 50 lists are very, very interesting. And I think they give great conversation. Leonard, you still here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Did you hear who I said was on this list and wasn't?
Top Shelf Stunners.
Top Shelf Stunners is on this list, and also Critical Role is not. Just also find it weird how all these people were so high on Critical Role and now they're not even in the top 25, and people stop talking on them just because they took a loss to a great team. Like, I don't get that. Boston lost by 30, but they're still a top team in the East.
Jeez.
You looking at that screen shot?
Yeah, Striker Spares on this list. TPD. Like, is this like almost your bad team?
But that's my point. Like, just because you have high averages and just because, you're bowling top averages, that doesn't mean it's not equating to wins. That's the part that I'm noticing, because like I said before, Top Shelf Stunners have been number 1 in pin total. I'm sorry, number 2 in pin total almost every stop. The only bad thing is the number 1 team on each one of those has been. You woke up? Yeah, you made this mess. You should see the way this little girl looking at me. We about to go to bed, little girl. She just woke up looking like she ready to play. No, ma'am. Hold up, I'm trying to pull up the Okay, so standing in pinfall for the Deep South right now. Stop. Right now, Southern Asylum is 1 in total pinfalls, followed by High Caliber, Outsiders, DSL, Full Throttle, Critical Role, and Top Shelf Stunners.
Damn.
Yeah. So Southern Asylum is putting up the points, but they're not putting up the wins. The same thing could be said about the Outsiders. We've been putting up the points, but from what I'm looking at with the Outsiders too, the times that we've won, we're putting up high point totals. So this is going to be interesting going into the first position round of the season. So let me go ahead and get off here. I got to put this little girl back to bed. So all right, let me I'll let y'all, and like I said, we'll resume either tomorrow or Monday.
Okay. All right, brother.
All right, y'all have a good night.
All right.